Yo, what's going on, everyone, and welcome to the stream. It is me, ShellshockPrime, and yep, that is my updated intro. Decided to just give it a little bit of an update, update a couple of clips, and change a couple of things around, change the intro to make it look different. But I feel like it looks nice. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you, Dragon, Frosty, and Slushy. Hope you guys are doing very well. Tonight's the tier list stream because of all you guys who have donated channel points to the community challenge that I did not too long ago for this. We're gonna be doing this tonight, so I have plenty of tier lists that I'm gonna be doing tonight, and I've already I already have all of them lined up, prepared, ready for this. Hey, system malfunction, thanks for the host. I need to sit aside and make one myself for raids and other stuff. Yeah, I'm looking to do other stuff. I also updated my Be Right Back, my back to the stream, as well as the I also updated the ending screen. I did it. That's all I did so far. Meta tier list of the letters A, B, C, D, and S. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna be doing all this through TierMaker, and we're gonna be going through as much as possible tonight. We'll see, because right now I have a total of 10 tier list planned for the stream. Don't know how many of them I'm going to be doing, depending on the time. We'll see how it goes. I got all of them lined up. Yep, 10. I'm going to be doing 10 tonight. I might do more, or I might have to cut some of them. Like I said, all depends on time, but we'll just play it by ear while we do that. So I'm gonna get some music ready for this. So let me just go ahead and get the playlist ready, because I actually made a big playlist specifically for this. Hold on a second. Oh. Yeah, that's right. My playlist got overridden because of other playlists, so I'm gonna just play random music sporadically throughout this whole thing. I'm just gonna pick playlists that I want to use, and then that's that. So let me just go ahead and start doing that. I'll probably put some of them that are related to the topic that I'm doing. So let me just do that, because I'll mention what the first one's going to be in a moment. Let me just do that. All right, yeah, I think that's good. And if it's a track that I don't want to do, I don't want played, I'll just skip it and go to the next one. But the only one you've done so far with this TierMaker thing is Paper Mario tier list. All right. Yeah, I've only played and beaten one game in the series, so I'm not qualified to do something like that yet. I do have other games I'm going to be doing soon. Like, I'm going to eventually do the first Paper Mario on stream. When, I'm not sure yet, but I'll get to it when I do. So let's play some music. Now lower a little bit, so there we go. Alright. So the first one is going to be Mega Man related. Hey Shiny, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so let's start with the first tier list. Let's switch over to this scene. Alright, as you can see, I've updated my layout a little bit more. Hey, hope you're doing well, System Malfunction. Hope you're doing well as well, Shiny, and everybody in chat. I hope everybody's doing well. So I updated my layout a little bit more. So you can see the events are now on the left side, and on the bottom, I have the theme of what the stream is about, as well as my socials. I have Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I still have everything else the way they are. But yeah, it's a chill Sunday here. Alright, so let's start this up. We're gonna be doing the Mega Man Robot Masters tier list, and this one is going to be based off of Mega Man 1 to Mega Man 11. Does not have the spin-offs, does not have any other series like the X series or Zero and all that. This is just Mega Man 1 through 11. That's the way I'm gonna do it. I also have my Gatorade ready for this too. I defeated the 8 Robot Masters. Yep, the 8 Robot Masters from Mega Man 2. But Mega Man 1 had 6. The remake of the game had 8, but this does not have the Robot Masters from the remake. It only has like 1 through 11. That's that. So let's start them up. Because we're going to be doing them in the order of the games. So we're going to start it up with. Alright, so what I'm going to do is start it up with Cutman. Let's see, so he's actually my favorite of the Mega Man 1 Robot Masters, so I'm gonna go with S. He has an amazing theme. He is actually pretty challenging. He looks cool, and his weapon is actually like really good in the game. But I don't have more context on this. I've only been Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. Yeah, I've beaten all of them, 1 to 11. But yeah, Cutman is easily on the top for me out of all the ones from Mega Man's 1. Like out of all the ones from Mega Man 1. So let's see. So next up is Gutsman, and Gutsman is going to go into All right. Here's the thing. Gutsman has a pretty good track from the game. Pretty good track, but his stage sucks. His weapon sucks. And having to fight him is horrible because the weakness is not great, which is like the bomb from Bomb Man. Like Bomb Man's bomb. He looks good though. So that said, I'm gonna have to give him a C, but he's gonna be on the lower C, just with the fact that he looks cool and I do like his music, but everything else is not that good about him. I like the idea of him more than anything. Yeah, good idea, but execution is not that good. Next up, Iceman. D. He has good music, but otherwise, his stage, in my personal opinion, in Mega Man 1, is my second least favorite in the game. However, this character's pretty boring. As a character, he's pretty boring compared to Gutsman. And you have invisible blocks. This probably could very well be my least favorite in general. When that I think about it, I just feel like he could have been so much better as a character, but instead he's just pretty boring. There's much better ice bosses in later games in the series. We'll get to them when we do. But overall, I think that I'm going to have to just give Iceman a D. Alright. Next up, we got let's see, so we got Cutman. Right over here we have Gutsman, Iceman. Next up is Bomb Man. F. Bomb Man gets an F. The only good thing about Bomb Man is his music. That's the only good thing about him. Bomb Man sucks. His weapon is horrible. His stage is okay, but the character itself isn't really all that great. But like the worst thing about him is the weapon, and the fact that you need to use that in order to beat Gutsman, not good. Not good at all. And especially when you have to fight them like in the rematches, and because in Wily Stage 2 you have rematches with Cutman and Electman. We'll get to Electman in a moment. And in Wily Stage 4 you have the other 4, but Gutsman is the last one you fight. And the problem with him is that it's even worse to have to try to use the bomb weapon against them. So no, I honestly don't think that he should be anywhere near like above F. Like, man, better be S, Rob, right? Just kidding. We'll see how that goes. Okay, next up is Fireman, and he is going to go into D. But I'm going to put him above. Actually, I'll put him on C. At least his stage is functional. It's not that bad of a stage. But fighting him is pretty hard. Yeah. Go C indeed. Yeah, fighting him is pretty hard. But the music is practically like, it's okay. Not the best out of all the main Robot Masters themes in Mega Man 1. It's probably the weakest one. But his stage is actually pretty good. Pretty solid. But fighting him is pretty challenging. But at least, like, if you have the weakness, yeah, you have Iceman's weapon, then you're good. You're good to go. Alright. So, we got one more from Mega Man 1. So, the next one from Mega Man 1, this is the last one from Mega Man 1, and that's Electman. Unfortunately, he won't be S, but I'm going to give him an A. Pretty good stage. Pretty good weapon, like the electric beam that he has. The music is fantastic. And as a boss, he's pretty challenging. And he looks cool. I personally like Cutman more. But his weapon is actually useful for a lot of ways. For example, when you fight against some of the bosses in the game, especially like the Yellow Devil, and when you also fight against Dr. Wily, his weapon works really well. So with that aside, I'm gonna put him at A. Now it's time for Mega Man 2 bosses. All right, so we're gonna start up with Metal Man. Metal Man is going to get, let's see, a lot of people will most likely say that he has the best weapon in the game, and he does. And a lot of people are going to say that he's overrated. So what's my stance on Metal Man? He does have the best weapon in the game. But as a character, he doesn't really have much. He doesn't really have a lot as a character. His weapon is basically, like, the Metal Blade is what makes him what he is. So, that aside, even though, like, I'm not gonna give him a super high, like, ranking for the simple fact that he has the best weapon in the game. What I am gonna do is I am going to put him in B. He'll be a high B, like a B plus. Like, his character is nothing special. Like I said, it's the weapon is what makes him. He has a great stage, great music, but fighting him, he's actually not that challenging. And when you fight him again in the rematches in one of the Wily stages, if you have the Metal Blade, if you're playing on normal, one hit he's knocked out. But if you're playing on difficult, 2 hits and he's knocked out. I feel like he'd be related to Cutman. He might not be related to Cutman, but I could see them, like, being allies with each other. Alright. Airman's next, and Airman actually will get an S. One of the best themes one of the best Robot Master themes in Mega Man 2. He looks fantastic. I actually like his look. Stage is actually pretty challenging. Fair. Like, it's not punishingly hard, but it's not easy either. I feel like the challenge for the stage is pretty fair. The music is pretty catchy, and his weapon is pretty good. So his weapon is more situational depending on what you're going up against. Because Crashman is weak to him. And like the Sniper Joes that have like those armors, you can use that against it. So I'll give Airman an S. A lot of people will probably go, really? Airman an S? Yes. I feel like Airman deserves to be an S. Okay, next up. Next up we got, yeah, I love Airman. Next up is Bubbleman, and Bubbleman gets an A. I love Bubbleman's theme. He looks cool. But his stage is actually pretty simple. Probably like one of the more simple stages in the game compared to the rest. No matter which difficulty you choose. He's not the character I would start with. Like Metal Man's the one I would start with. But he would be the one afterwards. Like I would go with him. Like he's like the second one I would go with. Because he's one of 4 characters, one of 4 Robot Masters in Mega Man 2. Weak to the Metal Blade. We'll get to the others in a moment. But overall, like, he looks good. Like, he doesn't look amazing, but he looks cool enough. And I feel like with him, the highest I will give him is A. All right, next up is Quickman. B. Not a big fan of his weapon, but everything else about him is pretty good. For example, I like the fact that that Quickman, the stage itself, the music is actually pretty catchy as well. Like all the other Mega Man 2 ones. Not to mention the fact that his stage is pretty hard, but you definitely need to avoid those beams. You have to be really quick enough to avoid those beams. But fighting him, he has 2 weaknesses. If you have the Time Stopper from Flashman, Crash Bombs also work against him too. But I feel like he's pretty fair in regards to challenge. So I'll give him a B. Quickman's actually pretty good. Yeah, his stage is the one with the 1-hit beams. You have to be really quick enough. You have to be quick enough in order to get through it. Unless you want to use the Time Stopper. Which I would recommend saving it for when you face against Quickman himself. Next up is Crashman. And Crashman is going to get a B as well. I'll put him right over here. Right behind Quickman. Awesome theme. Crash Bombs work on Quickman. Hey Tug, good to see you. Yep. It's a secondary weakness. The primary weakness is the Time Stopper. But yeah, so for Crashman, he has an awesome theme. Like one of the best themes out of all the Robot Masters in Mega Man 2. He also has a lot of really good like he has a good challenge, but his weapon is situational. It's useful in some areas. However, what really pisses me off about that weapon, there's a Wily stage where the only way to clear that stage is using his weapon, and you have to be careful on how you use the weapon, because if you run out, you're not clearing the stage. You'll have to die and come back. You have to be careful with the way you have to clear, open certain areas. You have to try to platform your way through just so you can be able to beat those little like those I don't remember what they're called, but they shoot like those like those circle beams right at you. They shoot multiples, so you have to get rid of all of them. Yeah, I hate that boss. I hate that boss fight. Now, as far as Crashman himself, yeah, the smoke alarm, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, that wall thing, it does suck. I will say that, I will admit, as much as I love Mega Man 2, that's actually the worst thing about that game. But that said, Crashman as a character is pretty cool. His weapon is hit and miss. Good in some areas, not so good in others. You just gotta know when to use it. So, for that, I'm gonna give him a B. But I'm gonna put him right behind Quickman. Next up is Flashman. Flashman is going to get... He's also going to get a B, but I'm going to put him right over here, like above both of these two. Both Quickman and Crashman. Okay, so for Flashman, another classic theme. In my personal opinion, one of the harder stages. Well, not one of the hardest stages. One of the easiest challenges I had against him. Like, he's actually pretty easy to face against. Why do I say that? Because he is another character whose weakness is the Metal Blade. Yeah. So he's weak to the Metal Blade. Just like Bubble Man, Woodman, and even Metal Man himself. But the stage has like a lot of areas where you need to use Crash Bomber so you can be able to get through. Like, it's not hard, it's not really easy, but it's fair. But I think it's a decent stage. But he looks cool enough. And his music rocks. I absolutely love his music so much. Alright. Hey Enigma. Thank you for the 19 months. Currently on a 10-month streak. Tiers for everyone and 10-tier streak will continue. Yep. Yes, it will. Okay, so next up. The next Robot Master is Heatman. C. Bottom C. Bottom C because he is actually not that, like, his stage is not that great. It's okay, but there's some areas where it's just like they could have just done so much better with it. Like, for example, like having to, like, all those platform, the disappearing blocks, but you can get around that by using number 2. Sorry. So you can use like item number 2, which is the jet. Then you can be able to bypass all that without having to use those blocks if you time everything correctly. He-Man look like you don't know how to order at a fast food place. Yeah. I would say that he's a lot easier compared to Fireman, but you still need the right weakness. He's weak to the bubble lead. He's weak to bubble lead, which is obvious. Because you have to hit him, then you jump over him when he blazes through you. You have to keep doing it until you knock him out. He looks okay. Like, he doesn't look great. He's probably the weakest looking out of all of them for me, out of all the Mega Man 2 bosses. But Heatman's alright. The theme is okay. It's pretty repetitive. It's actually a very short loop compared to the others. It's not forgettable or anything. It's just repetitive. So Heatman gets a C, more closer to a C-. But then again, other characters might actually be behind them. But we'll see how it all goes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fireman is definitely better in terms of looks. And let's see, let's just do the next one. We have one more boss from Mega Man 2. Woodman. Woodman gets an A. Woodman actually looks cool. His music is good. His stage is actually fairly challenging. but the boss fight is a little more challenging than I would expect it to be. Probably the second, actually I'll move him above, yeah, I'll move him above, these two, yeah, I'll do that. I think that he's probably like the second most challenging Robot Master out of all the 8 Robot Masters in Mega Man 2, behind Airman. But he looks pretty good, and everything about him, I like everything. I like almost everything about him. I just feel like his stage could be better in some areas, but it's not that bad. It's a pretty good stage. His music is great, but overall, like, the leaf shield is good in some areas, but otherwise it's kind of like a mediocre weapon. Like, the leaf shield is a pretty mediocre weapon in Mega Man 2. Yet in Smash, if you know how to use it, it's pretty good. And he also uses it in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. But yeah, that's Woodman. Okay, now we are on to the Mega Man 3 bosses. So for the Mega Man 3 bosses, we got Hardman. Oh wait, no, sorry. We're not up to Hardman yet. We're gonna start up with Needleman. Okay, Needleman is actually okay. It's not that he's not terrible, but he's not great. I'm gonna put him in C. I'm gonna put him like, I'll actually put him over here, because he actually has a pretty decent weapon. Like like when he shoots those needles, like those needles are actually pretty useful depending on like where you go. But honestly, like, his stage is not that good, but his music is good, and he's fairly challenging. But I feel like otherwise, I think that Needleman is he's just decent. Nothing too special. Like, not the best Robot Master, but definitely not the worst. That's the way I feel about him. That's my stance on Needleman. Okay, next up, Magnet Man, and he gets an A. I really like his weapon, and I think that he's cool. I think he looks cool. His music's good, and his stage is actually pretty good. Not much else for me to say about him, to be honest. Like he's really good all around, so I'm gonna give him an A. Gemini Man, oh man, his music is awesome, and he looks cool, but his stage is not all that good, and neither is his weapon. His weapon is not that great. Like, you have to rely on it. Like, you have to, like, it aims, like, you can aim it, like, the way his weapon works is you just shoot it and it just aims like from the wall, moves from wall to the other, and you have to rely on it hitting it. So it's not a good weapon. It's not good. I'm gonna have to give him a C. I'll put him in a higher C because he looks cool, but his weapon is not good, and neither is his stage. And his music's good though. The 45-degree wall beams, I don't like that. I really don't. Hardman gets an F. I hate Hardman so much. Yeah, Hard Knuckle is meh. It's only good at Smash Brothers. But I don't like Hardman. His music is kind of like forgettable, not that great. The remixes for it are better than the original one. I think you're being too hard on him. Oh my god. I don't like Hardman. Okay, maybe I'm a bit harsh. I'll put him in D. His stage is better than Iceman's. I'll put him in D. I think I was being too harsh, or rather being too hard on him. Now Top Man gets an F. The only good thing about Top Man is his music. That's it. His stage is not that great. The boss fight against him is not that great. And his weapon is one of the worst weapons in all the Mega Man games. At least in the classic series, it's horrible. And you wonder what makes it even worse for me? The fact that you actually need to use his weapon in the very last fight against Dr. Wily. Like the last form of the Wily boss, you need to use his weapon. And you have to time it right. Plus, you need to use it on Hardman as well. Top Spin is terrible. Top Spin is a terrible, terrible weapon. Snake Man's next. Oh, Snake Man, yo, he gets an S. Great stage, great theme, looks great, and his weapon is actually pretty useful. I like his weapon. So all around, Snake Man is fantastic. So he definitely gets an S. Sparkman is next. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 2 more from Mega Man 3. So we got Sparkman, he's going to get a B. I'll put him over here. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think he can go over there. Music's good. The music is good. His stage is okay. His weapon's okay. But he looks cool. And the fight against him is really, really tough if you don't have the right weapon. If you have the right weapon, oh, it's no problem. Shadow Man is an A. Actually, no. Shadow Man's an S. I love Shadow Man. Shadow Man's awesome. The weapon itself is pretty good, like the Shadow Blade. He looks great. His stage is actually pretty good, fairly challenging, and not only that, you wanna know what's the best thing about Shadow Man? His music, which is awesome. All right, next up we got in fact, give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna play Shadow Man's theme right now. All right, next up. So next up we got the Mega Man 4 bosses. So Mega Man 4 is actually my second least favorite game in the classic series. It's mediocre at best. Mega Man 4 is the one where it introduced the Buster Shot chargeable, like that's chargeable. Because Mega Man 3 was the one that introduced the slide and it introduced Rush. Because the problem with Mega Man 3 is after the Robot Masters, like you could tell the game is rushed. No pun intended. And the reason Mega Man 3 was rushed is because of the fact that the the actual creator of the series, Akira Kiramura, he left Capcom midway through development of that game. He left because I don't know why he left. Would not be shocked if it was because he was headhunted by other companies to work for them instead, because that's how it worked in Japan a lot. And then he ended up working at a completely smaller Japanese company where he made a game, and Capcom knew of this, and they decided that they were going to rush to release Mega Man 3 at the same time. His game never came out outside of Japan, whereas like Mega Man 3 actually suffered as a result. So after the Robot Masters, they had the gall to come out with the Doc Robots, which were not good. They were terrible. The Wily stages are good, but it doesn't save the game. Like, they could have been better. So overall, like, Mega Man 3 is great. Now for Mega Man 4, on the other hand, Mega Man 4 is not that great of a game. Could have been so much better. And I remember when I streamed it, nearly 3 years ago, I was not having a good time. Like, I didn't have a good time when I first played it and beat it years ago, and then when I streamed it again, like when I streamed it, when I was doing the Mega Man marathon, I was just not having fun. Yeah, 3 was the one that introduced Proto Man. But we'll get to, but the thing about Proto Man is he has a much bigger role in Mega Man 5. We'll get to Mega Man 5 Robot Masters in a minute. Like, most of these Robot Masters from Mega Man 8, Mega Man 4 are not that great. Alright. Let's see, so we got Light Man. Or Bright Man. I think it's Bright Man. D. Like, the weapon sucks. The weapon sucks, and he doesn't look all that great either. He also just doesn't, like, his stage is just, man, like, I didn't like it that much. Yes, here we are, Mega Man 4 music now. Yeah. I just don't know, like, I just don't really like any of that. Like, I just feel like he is just not that great of a character. And his stage, his weapon, his music is okay, but pretty forgettable. Like, a lot of the music in the game is, most of the music is forgettable. With a few exceptions. I just feel like it just could have been so much better. And also, it introduced like a new character named Dr. Cossack, who was manipulated by Dr. Wily. All because of the fact that he kidnapped his daughter, and he was manipulated into attacking Mega Man. Yep. Okay, so next up we got Toad Man. Toad Man sucks. His stage is not that good. His weapon sucks. His music is okay. That's the only nice thing I can say about him. So I'm gonna put Toad Man in F. He sucks. Everything about him sucks. And he has the Rain Flush. That's a terrible weapon. Okay. Which you actually need to use against Bright Man. Redeems 100 million channel points to voice Toad Man? No. Next up is Drill Man. Drill Man's okay. I'll put him in C. Weapon's not that bad. Music is good. He looks alright. And his stage is okay. Pharaoh Man, I'm going to put him in B because he looks cool. He actually, because he looks more unique compared to a bunch of other characters who kind of look a bit samey. But yeah, he looks really good. And his music rocks. Next up is Ring Man. Ring Man's decent. Decent music, decent weapon. Nowhere near as good as the Metal Blade or the Shadow Blade. But like Ring Man's Spring Boomerang is actually pretty solid enough. The music's pretty good too. So I'll give him a C. Like, he's not amazing, but he's not terrible. Yeah, Pharaoh Man looks great. Easily like one of my 2 favorite Robot Masters in Mega Man 4. We'll get to the other one in a moment. The next one is Dustman. D. Out of all the Robot Masters in the game, I think he has the worst music. He has a pretty mediocre weapon. And he doesn't look that great. I think he's a mediocre boss, at best. Dive Man is next, and he gets a C. He's definitely better than Toad Man. Like, because there's like 2 water-related Robot Masters in the game, like Toad Man and Dive Man. Dive Man's okay. Dust Man left in the dust. So, the last one from Mega Man 4 that I actually like Skullman gets a B. He has a skull barrier. His weapon is actually really good. I'd say not as good as the Leaf Shield in my personal opinion, but it's good enough. Like, I feel like it's good enough to stand out on its own. His stage, however, is not that great, but everything else about him, his music, which is in the medley, and he actually looks good. Like, everything else, it's just the reason why he's lower is because the stage is not that great. Everything else about him is good. And that's the Mega Man 4 Robot Masters. So next up we got the Mega Man 5 Robot Masters. So the thing about Mega Man 5 goes like this. Mega Man 5 came out like in 1992, and the story for this game is Proto Man supposedly is attacking the city. He has 8 Robot Masters of his own, and he's going after Mega Man. Turns out it's not Proto Man, it's an imposter. And you can never guess as to who's the one behind it. Oh wait, no, you can't. It's Wily. It's Wily. Okay, so next up we got the Mega Man 5 Robot Masters. Okay, a lot of them are better looking than Mega Man 4 Robot Masters. Way better, like beyond belief that they actually did such a good job with these ones. I feel like, because I know some of these Robot Masters have been like from Japanese contests, which I have to pinpoint which ones from 4, 5. Hey, Lucas Omega. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. I honestly feel like the Mega Man 5 Robot Masters are better than the ones from 4. And Mega Man 5 is a much better game. One of the most underrated Mega Man games. Okay, so let's cut to the chase and start off with Gravity Man. Gravity Man actually has a pretty cool concept of a stage, like the gravity and anti-gravity segments in there. I actually kind of like it. His weapon, like the gravity hold, take it or leave it. He looks cool otherwise. I'll put him in a lower B. Actually, I'll put him in no, it's B. I'll put him in lower C. Yeah, lower B right here. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Alright, so next up we got Wave Man. Wave Man gets a B as well. I'm gonna put him right over here. The water wave is actually pretty decent. Stage is actually pretty cool because you could also ride on a jet. Like, his music for the stage is amazing. It sounds so relaxing and calm. One of my favorites from that game. And he looks cool too. So for that, I'm going to give him a B, like a higher B, like in the middle. Okay, so next up we got Stone Man, and Stone Man is actually going to get a C. I'll put him right over here. I'll put him right here. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's not so bad. They really dove in with the water-based bosses. They sure did, yes. Like Wave Man looks pretty good, but like for Stone Man, like his weapon is actually pretty solid. Again, no pun intended. And not only that, his stage is actually pretty fun for what it is. The music's good too. Next up we got Gyro Man. Gyro Man is going to get a B, but I put him right over here. I really like his design and his stage. I also like his music. His weapon is actually pretty solid. All right, next up we got Next up, we got Starman. Starman actually gets an A. I love his music so much. His weapon's actually pretty good. His stage is great, and he looks great. So next up, we got Charge Man. Probably my least favorite of them, but I'm gonna give him. He's my least favorite out of all of them, but I'm gonna give him a C. I'll put him over here. Like, there's not a lot really to him, unfortunately. The music's the best thing about him. So next up, we got Napalm Man. Napalm Man has one of my favorite themes. I'm gonna give him an A. One of my favorite themes, really, which is playing right now. This is the one that's playing right now, Napalm Man. His weapon is actually like situational. Not bad, but not great. But his stage is actually pretty good, and he looks pretty good. The reason why he's not S is because of his weapon, or at least higher A. So I put him in lower A. But his theme is great. Like, and it's playing right now. Like, one of my favorites from this game. Like, easily like the easily one of the better themes. I'll actually put him up right here above Starman for the simple fact that his theme is great. And then the last one is Crystal Man. Crystal Man gets a C. I'll put him over here. Again, good stuff, but not a lot to him. So overall, Mega Man 5 had more better robots than Mega Man 4 did. And now we go on to Mega Man 6, the last one on the NES. So, backstory on Mega Man 6. Capcom originally did not want to bring the game over here because they were focusing on the Mega Man X series at the time. But they decided, because in Japan, Mega Man 6 came out before Mega Man X. Over here it's the other way around, because they were slow to bring it and they decided not to do it. But Nintendo decided to publish it over here. The reason? 2 of the Robot Masters for Mega Man 6 were part of a Nintendo Power Contest. Blizzard Man is one of them, and I'm gonna rank him right now. He actually gets a C. Actually, yeah. So the thing about Blizzard Man is, I forgot who the other Robot Master was though. Yes, I know a lot of, I definitely know a lot of Mega Man, but there's still a few things I still gotta remember or know, but Mega Man is like, means so much to me. Especially in my childhood, growing up playing a lot of Mega Man games. But for, honestly, for Blizzard Man, like, he's okay. Really good theme. Really good stage. And he looks fine, but it's nothing too special, to be honest, in my personal opinion. But he's definitely a better ice boss than Iceman. And funny enough, like, because they haven't actually made any ice bosses after Iceman up until Blizzard Man. So here we are. Centaur Man is next. And I'll have to give them credit for at least coming up with the idea of making a centaur robot. He has a really cool arrow. So, but I'm gonna give him a B. His theme is actually pretty good too. Yeah, over here. I'll put him over there. Flame Man is next. Okay, so the thing is that, like, all these robots, they're deemed to be like worldwide robots because like it was some sort of a tournament that was going on. That's it. That said, Flame Man is like He's gonna go to B. We'll lower B. What holds him back is his weapon is kind of mediocre at best, but everything else about him is pretty good. Stage, music, and the look. This is his weapon is holding him back from being higher. You need to go back and beat Mega Man 11? Yeah, Mega Man 11 is really good. Next up is Nightman. I'll put him on B. I'll put him over here. Nothing too special, but he's pretty good enough. Everything about him is good enough. It's just nothing too special. Next up, we got Plant Man. I do not like this one. He's not the worst, but he's actually like one of my least favorite Robot Masters in Mega Man 6. So I'm gonna put him in D. I'll put him over here. I absolutely just don't like Plant Man. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. But he's better than these guys, and he's better than these guys right here. Tomahawk Man is going to get a C. Honestly, pretty forgettable. Not a fan of him. But he's definitely better, like out of his other contemporaries, he's definitely better than Plant Man, easily. Wind Man is next. I'll also put him in C. Again, nothing too spectacular about him. It's just another wind boss. And then the last one is Yamato Man, which I'm not sure if he's supposed to be a samurai, but he looks cool. I'll give him an A. Probably my favorite one out of the Mega Man 6 bosses. I really like his design a lot. I like his music. I like everything about him. His stage. I think he's the best one out of all the Mega Man 6 Robot Masters. Centaur Man is like a close second. And that's Mega Man 6. Okay, so now we're on to Mega Man 7. When the series made the jump from 8 to 16 bits. Because we're going Super Nintendo now. So we got Mega Man 7 Robot Masters right here. You start off fighting 4 of them. Then after that you have like a stage in between. And then you have to fight the other 4 before you go to Wily. I like the way they formatted that. Changes a few things up for the series. So Freeze Man is actually a pretty good... Here's the main thing with Mega Man 7. Great, like, fantastic bosses. Like some of them are some of the best bosses in the series. Great music, but the game is just not that great, in my personal opinion. And the Dr. Wily boss fight, especially the second form, is, in my personal opinion, one of the most hardest ones, and I hate that boss fight so much. Mega Man 7 could have been so much better as a game, but it had so much potential. And it was the one where it introduced Bass. It introduced Otto, who happened to create a lot of... Let's see, so Otto happens to help you out. What's your criteria for judging these guys? 4 things I just picked. Number 1, music. Number 2, weapon. Number 3, stage. And number 4, the look of the character. And then I balance it out overall. So that's why, like, a character like for example, Metal Man, I did not want to put him so high just because of his weapon, because as much as like for Metal Man, as much as I like his stage, and as much as like his music and his weapon, he as a character isn't anything special. So that's why I put him where he is. And yet, Cutman is not an S-class. To me, he is. I love Cutman so much. However, we're about to get ready to do the Mega Man 7 Robot Masters right now. So my god, like, Mega Man 4 Robot Masters just disappoint me so much. Like, 5 definitely has a lot of better Robot Masters than 4, though. 6, is hit and miss, but for 7, I absolutely, here's the thing, I actually love the Mega Man 7 Robot Masters. Like, Mega Man 4 is like my second least favorite game in the classic series. So here we go. We got Mega Man 4, not Mega Man 4, Mega Man 7. If Mega Man 2 didn't exist, it'd be the most overrated game in the series. Let me guess, 8 is my least favorite. We'll get to 8 in a little bit. Okay, there's no spin-offs and no Mega Man and Base. It's just 1 through 11. And none of the remakes. There was another one. I didn't want to use that because I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I didn't, for some of the ones I didn't finish. Since I did 1 through 11, I think it makes more sense for me to do that. So for 7, let's start grading them. Because 7 introduced Base, introduced Auto, and you're able to buy stuff at the shop. So 6 had like 2 different rush armors, and 7 had like an ultimate rush armor, which is fantastic. It looks so cool. Kind of wish that they brought it back. But now onto the Robot Masters. So let's start off with Freeze Man. Let's see. Freeze Cracker as a weapon is actually pretty good. I like his music. His stage, however, is kind of but he looks cool. But I feel like with that, like the stage may not be that great, but everything else about him I happen to like a lot. So I'm gonna give him an A, but a lower A. Next up is Junkman. Hold on, let me just check real quick to see how much tracks I have left. Oh, plenty. Should be enough for the rest of this. For the rest of the Mega Man tier list that I'm doing right here. Okay, yeah, here's the third one. Next up is Junkman. He's actually pretty cool. I'll give him an A. He has a junk shield, it's pretty awesome. His theme is actually one of my favorites from this game. The way it works is awesome. Stage is actually pretty good, but I'm gonna give him an A, but I'm gonna put him higher. Yeah, here. I'm sure there's gonna be more Robot Masters that would be ahead of him, but for now, he's right there. I hope he eats a lot of junk food. He probably does. One of the best shield weapons? Yes, I totally agree. As you can see, I put him over here. I love his shield so much. And his motif is actually pretty unique enough. That's why I think he looks really cool. Danger Wrap is the best weapon in Mega Man 7. Changed my mind. I'll have to think about that. Okay. Next up. Let's see. So we got 6 Robot Masters over here. We got Burst Man, and then we got Cloud Man. I tend to get confused between like the faces. Like when I see the bodies of the 2 of them, I gotta make sure I got it right. So I want to make sure Burst Man over here and Cloud Man over here, I want to make sure I got that right. Everything else, because then I can continue after that. Okay, so Burst Man. Okay, good, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to get it wrong. Burst Man is also really good. I like his theme as well. Not as much as Junkman, but I'll put him in the middle over here in A. Yeah, the color palette is completely different. I just want to make sure. But yeah, honestly, he's definitely like one of the better Robot Masters in the series. But like, the one thing I will say is that like his stage is pretty good. But I feel like out of the 4 that you start with, it's probably the weakest of the 4. But it's still a pretty good one anyway. Cloudman. Okay, I love... And Mega Man and Basis Cannon? Alright. Okay, so Cloudman. I happen to like Cloudman's design. And Mega Man 9 does prove it because you see it at the ending. I happen to like Cloudman's design. I happen to like his music. And his weapon's actually pretty good. However, I don't like his stage at all. His stage sucks. I fucking hate his stage so much. Okay. So what I just said right now about Burstman, I take that back. Cloudman, because I remember Cloudman was part of the first 4. Cloudman's stage sucks. His weapon's just to rip off his spark mandrills. Fair. So, even though I really like his design a lot, his music and his weapon, his stage sucks so much. But I'm gonna have to put him in like a lower B, like right over here. Yeah, no, here. I hate his stage so much. Otherwise, if his stage would have been so much better, he would have been higher. Okay, now we are up to the second group from Mega Man 7. Like right after that museum stage, you get 4 more. So next up is Springman, and no, not the one from ARMS. Although I would not be shocked if I could just make a joke and say that this Springman over here is going to sue the Springman from ARMS. Nah, but anyway, actually, I like his theme. His stage is actually pretty cool. And he has a pretty cool design. His weapon is, however, is meh. I don't like his weapon that much. I'll put him in B, but I'll put him in like in the middle B. Like, close to the middle. Like, right over here. Slashman gets an A easily, but I'll put him in the middle A. His music is great. Slash Claw. You don't like Slash Claw? You don't like Slashman? Man, Slashman is I actually like Slashman. Dollar Store Wolverine. Oh boy. Okay, Shade Man is going to get an A as well. I'll put him right here. I do like the creativity with his stage, like like him looking like a vampire, and I feel like a Halloween, like it feels like you're in a Halloween stage, which it kind of is, like how spooky you can be. And the hidden Ghosts and Goblins reference is what makes me put him as high as he is right now as well. As if he wouldn't be high enough. I actually like Shade Man. Yeah, there's a Ghosts and Goblins reference. But like, because they actually use a rendition of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, like a remix of it. There's one more. Yeah, there's one more. Turbo Man. Turbo-tastic? Not really. Not a bad stage, but the boss fight is actually pretty challenging and fair. The music is good. Weapon is good. I'll give him an A. I do like it more than Slashman's though. So that's all 8 of the Robot Masters from Mega Man 7. We still got more to do. So next up is Turbo Man's awesome. I will say this: Mega Man 8. People have mixed opinions on Mega Man 8. I like Mega Man 8 a lot more than I thought I did. Hell, I'll even go on record to say that as a game itself, I had more fun with Mega Man 8 than I did with Mega Man 7. Voice acting is pretty cheesy. We all know this. But that being said, I like some of the music. I like the music. It's only 4 checkpoints, which makes the game too easy. Well, I have like, there is like 1 or 2 other things about Mega Man 8 that I will say I don't like. One of the bosses, like one of the boss fights in the Wily stages is terrible. It's the one where you have to use the Mega Ball and you have to get it in the right spots. My least favorite boss in the entire game. Out of hoverboard segments, no. I actually like the hoverboard segments. It's just the boss fight. Like what the boss fight where you have to use the Mega Ball in one of the Wily stages. I did not like that boss fight at all. So bad. A lot of people say that, but next up, let's talk about the bosses right now. Tengu Man gets an A. I'll put him right over here. I happen to like Tengu Man a lot. Tengu Man's overrated? Not to me, he isn't. I really like Tengu Man. His music, and the thing is, there's 2 versions of his theme. There's a Sega Saturn version and there's a PlayStation version. His Sega Saturn version is different, but a lot more people have heard the PlayStation one because that's the one that gets re-released. Since it's hard to emulate Saturn. But that said, I really like it. Yeah, the Mega Man and bass version is actually really good. Like it's actually like pretty chill for what it is. But overall, I really like this boss. Let's see. I'm surprised that they did not put them all like in the order that I thought that they would. So Astro Man is next. I will say this though, I do actually think that Astro Man's Mega Man and bass theme is better than the one from Mega Man 8. You're in numerical order? Okay. You have more experience with the Saturn theme because it was the only one to get a MIDI file back in the day? But his theme from Mega Man 8 is fine. His stage, however, I'm not the biggest fan of his stage. It's not terrible, but it's not like amazing either. But he has a pretty cool weapon, and he looks cool. So, I'll give him a B. Swordman is next, and honestly, I think Swordman, in my personal opinion, as a character, not a fan of it. Pretty boring. But he makes up for it with the stage. I like the way they did it. I like his stage a lot. Probably like my second favorite of the second group. And his weapon is not that bad. I'll give him a higher C. I gotta put him over here. Like, right behind Gemini Man. I just don't like Swordman as a character. But everything else about him is pretty good. Next up, we got Clown Man. Okay, Clown Man, I like his stage. I like the motif of the stage. I happen to like the music for the game, for the stage. In fact, when I did that indie festival marathon last year, I actually used that because I felt that worked with the carnival setting. So, but I really like his theme. His design's pretty good. I don't know how I feel about his weapon. Like, it's alright. Not really too crazy over it. Overall, I'll give him a B. Okay. Thunderclaw's awesome because of the swing mechanic. Yeah, because you could swing. Is this Searchman? Because if that's Searchman, then, honestly, I love his music. His stage is pretty good. I don't like Searchman in terms of design, but I like everything else about him. So with that, I'll at least give him a B. I'll put him right over here. Yeah. Next up is Blizzard Man. Blizzard Man, I actually love his personality because, oh, Frostman. Oh, sorry, Frostman. Yeah, I forgot. I already talked about Blizzard Man. Frostman. Yeah, Blizzard Man's right here. I'm sorry. He's over here. He gets a B. For Frostman. There, I'll crush you. I'll make a popsicle of you. I gotta take this real quick. He's actually pretty funny. His stage, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I don't mind it. I actually like his music for it. Next up, Grenade. Is that Grenade Man? Just want to make sure. 'Cause I want to make sure if I got that one right. Grenade Man. Yep. Okay, so Grenade Man, I am going to give him. Well, before I do, let me just talk about his stage. His stage is actually pretty decent for what it is. I actually think that his music is really good. And as a design, he looks fantastic. And as a character, he's pretty good. I like him. I really do. I'll give him an A. I'll put him right over here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I think that's good. And the last one, a lot of people don't like this one for whatever reason. I happen to like this one a lot. Aquaman. I love Aquaman. Everything about him, like his music, his stage, the character, the design. His weapon, I actually like his weapon. I know people may not like it, but I don't mind it. I actually like it a lot. It could be better, yes. It could be so much better. I'll give him an A. Like around here. Yeah, I'll put him over there. But yeah, like, my thing is Mega Man 8 is actually a pretty good game. It's a shame that, like, it came out in the year that, like, a lot of people were just not really paying too much attention to the 2D games. And here's the thing about Mega Man 8, and to an extent Mega Man X4 applies to this as well. When Capcom was going to bring it over here, Sony originally did not want Capcom to bring them to PlayStation because they had the anti-2D policy. So they were going to be Saturn exclusives. But then, I'm not sure if this rumor is true, but I've been hearing about that that Capcom was going to refuse to bring over Resident Evil 2 over. I don't know if that's true, but if that is, that's probably one way to sway Sony to actually say, okay, fine, release them. And they did. So they were released on PlayStation. And then we got Mega Man 8. Now it's like I kind of want to get a copy of it, but actually the game was supposed to be Saturn exclusive in Japan, but Sony of Japan demanded a version for themselves. That part I didn't know. I just only heard about the Sony in America part. Yeah. But there was like a commemorative booklet for Mega Man 8 if you bought it on PlayStation, which is basically like a bigger manual. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I've been hearing. I want to get a copy for myself, but with retro prices skyrocketing, it's better that I do that, because I would like to have a copy of Mega Man 8, but it would be easier for me to get the PlayStation version over the Saturn version. The Saturn version would be expensive. Alright. So, next up we got Mega Man 9, a game that came out in 2008. And Mega Man 9, to me, like, here's my thing. When it came out, I really liked the game a lot, but when I played it again back in 2018, when I did the marathon, I ended up not liking Mega Man 9 as much as I did. It's still a good game, but I ended up not liking it as much as I did in 2008, because back then I've only beaten it once. Man, that game is hard. I would probably say it's more overrated than 2 or 4. Well, I don't know if I would say more overrated than 4, because I don't like 4 that much. I like Mega Man 9 better than 4 though. Because it goes back to basics. 8-bit, Mega Man loses the slide and he loses the charge, but they gave both of those traits to Proto Man instead, which Proto Man is more or less like just an extra in the game because he's a DLC. Not really part of the story. He's just, well, in terms of like when you play as him, like he's in the story, but not just for that, but he takes double damage. The same can be said about Mega Man 10 as well, but we'll get to Mega Man 10 soon. But overall, if one would ask me how much I love Mega Man 9, I don't love it now. I like it, but I don't love it. I would have said I loved it back in like 2008. I really did. But playing it again, I'm like, okay, maybe this game is not all that great, but it's not like terrible to me. The problem is that making a character with charge and slide in Mega Man 9 was pointless because the game needed to be beatable with base Mega Man. Exactly. They were trying to cash in the whole nostalgia thing. That's exactly why Mega Man 9 was made, to cash in on nostalgia, which is fair. Alright, it's fair for them to think that at the time, but I just think it's not that. I just think that Mega Man 9 is not that great. Okay, but now onto the Robot Masters. So we start out with Concrete Man. His music is good, and that's the nicest thing I can say about him. I don't like his weapon. His design's okay, and his stage is kind of meh. So I'm gonna give him I'm gonna put him in a lower C. I like this design better when it was called Gutsman. Yep. I'll put him in a lower C. He kind of looks like if he was Gutsman's cousin or something. Alright, next up is Tornado Man. I absolutely love Tornado Man's theme so much. And he has a pretty cool design. They were both built by Dr. Light, yep. His stage, however, is a bit hit or miss. And I like this design better when he was called Harupia, yeah. Then again, Inti Creates did work on this game. Let's see, so he has the Tornado Blow, which is, to me, it's a situational weapon, depending on how you do things. Alright, so I'll put him in B, right here. No, like, yeah, there. It could stay there. Splash Woman, the very first ever woman, first ever female to be a robot master. I absolutely love her design, and I love her weapon. Her stage is fantastic. Well, not stage. The music is fantastic. Her stage is okay. I like the music more than the stage. Leviathan, yes. I'll give her a B, but I'll put her right over here. I'll give her a B. Mainly because I wasn't too crazy over the stage. Everything else was great. Plugman is next. Hopefully, we'll see. Plugman is going to get a C. Nothing too special in my personal opinion. Like his music is really the best thing about him. Yeah. Jewel Man will get a B. A lower B. His shield is okay. Because he has a jewel shield. Jewel satellite. Honestly, I feel like he's just okay at most. Ironically enough, I actually hate Top Man in terms of like design and everything. His weapon sucks. But yeah, Jewel Satellite is cool. I do think that the junk shield is still better, but this is a pretty good shield enough. And his music is pretty good. That is true, yes. Yeah, next up we got Hornet Man. His music is great. His stage is fine. As a character design, I actually don't mind him. And the weapon, the Hornet, I actually like the Hornet weapon. I'll give him an A. And the next one we got Magma Man. Let's see, how do I feel about this one? I would probably, honestly, I think he's my least favorite of the Robot Masters in Mega Man 9. D. Not really a fan, honestly. Not really a fan. His music is kind of weak. Everything else about him is just meh. I'm not a fan of him. Galaxy Man, on the other hand, I do like his theme. Let me actually put him in A. I'll put him over here. Well, it's like if I don't really have much to talk about, if I don't really have much to say about like that Robot Master, then I just don't really have much to say. However, I actually do think that Galaxy Man is awesome. I like him. Oh, your Primo commentary? Oh. You like Magma Man when he was called Needle Man, and you like Galaxy Man equally the same as Astro Man. Astro Man has like an awesome theme, and his weapon is, I actually like his weapon. Otherwise, everything else about him is great. But that's it for the Mega Man 9 Robot Masters. Mega Man 9, I just feel like is a very disappointing game. Like, the second time around. It's like, I was hyped up the first time around, like when I first played it. Enjoying the game. But it's like, the second time around, I'm like, eh. And I just realized I've been on this tier list far longer than I thought I would be. And, because I created so many tier lists, I actually might make a part 2 of this at some point. But don't worry, we have time for more, though. We still got the Mega Man 10 and the Mega Man 11 bosses before we go to the next one. But it's crazy how I actually had 10 tier lists prepared, and I'm still on the first one of the night. Alright, so Mega Man 10 is actually my favorite in the classic series, which I really like this game a lot. I feel like, yes, Mega Man 10 is going a similar trend to what Mega Man 9 was going for, what Mega Man 9 went for, but I feel like it did it a lot better. I think they perfected the 2D Mega Man formula with this one, with Mega Man 10. Story may be simple, like you have the Robo-Enza virus. It's like they always add different things for the story each game, but that's okay because that's what I like about Mega Man. But like they make it feel like a Saturday morning cartoon in a way. I like that. You get to play as Mega Man, Proto Man, and Bass. But Bass is a DLC character. Hey, HK, good to see you. But yeah, Proto Man's more involved this time than Mega Man 9, at least. He still takes the double damage, but he has the charge shot, and he has the slide. And then Bass, he can actually, he doesn't double jump like he does in Mega Man and Bass, but he can dash. Yeah, the music is X vs. Zero from X5, because I put a Mega Man, like, the entire Mega Man playlist of all the music from Smash. Don't forget the shield. Yeah, he does have the shield. He's pretty good. Like, Bass is pretty good. So, let's go on to the Robot Masters. So, Blade Man's the first one. Blade Man actually gets an A. I love his theme. I love his design. I love his stage. He gets like a high A. I'm gonna put him right here, above Tengu Man. No, the or is this all Mega Man characters? Oh, it's just the Robot Masters from Mega Man 1 to Mega Man 11. Yeah, I absolutely really love that one a lot. Hey, Destiny, good to see you. I think if his weapon would have been a lot better, he would have been an S rank for me. Then again, I have weird taste. Pump Man. His weapon is actually pretty unique for a water weapon. Oh wait, no it's not. I'm sorry, I was thinking of someone else. Pump Man has a shield. What the fuck am I smoking? Pump Man has a shield. I was thinking of someone else, sorry. Pump Man has a shield, like a water shield. It's okay. Is Storm Eagle on this list? Nope. I will save that for when I do the Mega Man X Mavericks at a later date. This is just for the regular Robot Masters. Yeah. I will do a Maverick one at some point. His stage is actually pretty good. His music's pretty good. His weapon's a shield. Yeah, I agree. In fact, I'm actually gonna put him an S. I like everything about this guy. I'm gonna put him right here. Yeah, Plugman's Jewel Satellite's pretty good, but I actually think that he has the best shield. Like with Junkman being close second. Commando Man is next. He has the Commando Bomb as his weapon, and I think that he's all right. He's okay. I'll give him a B. His stage is pretty good, and so is his music. Yeah, Pump Man is great because he leans into the cheesiness of his design. Yeah. Next up is Chill Man. A. My favorite of the ice robots. Yeah, because this is also in Smash. There's no Battle Network music, but yet they got Star Force. And this is like the only one. I kind of wish that they would have added Battle Network music and Legends music. I kind of wish they added more Zero music than the one that just played. But yeah, I really happen to like Chill Man. Sheep Man? I really like his design, his stage, his music. His weapon, I could take it or leave it. Thunderwool's okay, but I'm gonna give him, I'll put him in like a lower A. Shell, I gotta hand it to you. I know a lot of people who like Mega Man, but you might be the biggest Mega Man fan you know. That you know, yes, definitely. Yeah, Destiny and Ice Pig are also fans. Yeah, because your username on YouTube, Destiny, Mega Man NG, yeah. Alright, so next up is Strike Man. Not bad. I'll put him in B. Not a bad boss. Yeah, he can go over there. Not a bad boss. Yeah, you are, like, I know so many people who claim that. Like, if I were to ever do, like, if I were to ever have, like, a big, like, have people just talk about Mega Man in general, I like to see, like, who knows the most. Because I know so many people that know a lot, including you, Ice Pick, over the years. Though my buddy 112, I know he knows a lot, too. But yeah, as far as everything else goes, we have 2 more. But I honestly think that Strike Man's okay. Like, it's good enough. Next up, we got Nitro Man. Just got here. Wait, what the? Oh, the Mega Man. Like, it just went to Persona next because the Mega Man stuff went. There's some music I actually skipped. I'm gonna put over here Top Man. I'll switch to Mega Man 11's OST when I get there, though I should actually just do that now. Mega Man 11 OST. I'll just start off at the bosses. Where's the bosses at? Alright. Oh, these are the extended ones. No. Alright, where's the non-extended? Yeah. I just need timestamps. Alright, there we go. There we go. I'll just do the bosses. Okay, so for Nitro Man, he's okay. I like his theme. I like his stage motif, and I actually like his music. Fire Emblem 4 music. Oh, that's good. And yeah, Frosty Airman is here. I love Airman. But for Nitro Man, I'm gonna put him in B. It's like for me, like the Robot Masters in Mega Man 10 are all over the place. And Solar Man is actually my least favorite of the Robot Masters in Mega Man 10. But he gets a C. Like, it's not bad. Music is good though. Stage is like so-so. And his weapon's kind of meh. And his design is not that great. But I'll give him a C. Like, he's not terrible. I just feel like he's not that great. Yeah, his song is awesome. That's why he's where he's at. Like, his song more than makes up for everything else on this list, so there's that. So now we are on Mega Man 11. Blockman is actually gonna get a B. Like a middle of the road B. I like his design, but I don't like his theme that much. Like, it's playing right now, but his theme is kind of meh, like one of the weaker ones. His stage is okay. He deserves an A minimum for his power gear. Okay, I'll move him up a bit. Okay, B plus. Or A minus. Okay, I'll at least leave him here. Oh yeah, Mega Man Upon a Star was good. Mega Man Soccer, I've played a little bit of it, not a fan. But then again, like, if I were to ever do a stream dedicated to Mega Man spin-offs, I probably will include that. Let's see, next up, Fuse Man. Yeah, Fuse Man, I actually love this one. Easily. I'm gonna give him an A. Right over here. His music, I could just play his music all day. Like, easily my favorite track out of all the ones from Mega Man 11. His weapon's pretty decent, but everything else about him, I actually like it a lot. Design, stage, and the music. Everything else is take it or leave it. Yeah. I just feel like he's actually a pretty good one to go against. Let's see. I do need to think of what's the next tier list going to be after I'm done with this one right here. But definitely not going to be anywhere near as long as this. So I just got to think about this. Anyway, okay. We'll think about what the next tier list is going to be afterwards. I have a couple more Robot Masters left. Okay, so next up, this one alright, this one is Chain. The Blast Man. Chain Blast is his weapon. Blast Man is actually pretty good. A. Especially like when you use the gear, chain it up, and like that'll be good against certain weapons. That's the reason why I would use his weapon. Like, you need power gear. Force that gunport to save Christmas. Oh boy. All right. Next up, we got Acid Man. I'm not a fan of his stage, and his weapon is not that great, and he doesn't look that great. I honestly don't like Acid Man that much. I'm gonna give him a D. Not a fan of Acid Man. That's actually how Wish Upon a Star ended, yeah. Because there was only 3 of them. The second and the third one were made like, I think a year or so after the pilot. Yeah, his music is actually like the best thing, but everything else was just eh. I just wasn't a fan of his stage. Oh god. Speaking of not being a fan of something, Tundra Man. Though I do like him better than Acid, but I'm not a fan of his stage at all. But I do like his music and I do like his weapon. I'll give him a C. Next up, we got 3 more. We got 3 more to go, and then we're done with this tier list. So next up, we got Torchman. Torchman is also gonna get a C. I do like him better than Tundra. I do like Tundra Man better than him, though. Move him right here to a lower C. Like more closer to C minus. Next up we got Impact Man. Impact Man's awesome. I really like Impact Man the most. Well, almost the most. I'll put him over here. I like Acid. I like Fuse Man more, but Impact Man is probably a close second for me out of all of them. My personal opinion. I'll put it. Yep. Bounce Man is actually solid enough. Not the best. I'll put him in B. Right? No, wait. Yeah. Above Astro Man. Bounce Man is actually pretty cool. Really good stage. And he has really good music. Pretty whimsical. And his weapon's not that bad either. But I love Cut, man. But overall, this is my list. This is my own personal one. If anybody wants this one and they want to do their own, I will post a link. The link is right here. Yep. Voiced by our Maker's voice actress. Right here. If anybody wants to do their own, I am going to save this so I can download this image. And I'll post it up on Twitter at the end of the stream. Okay. So, that's the first tier list of the night. I was not expecting this one to be anywhere near as long as it is. But, man, this was fun to do. So, I'm gonna find music to relatable for the next one. So the next one I'm going to be doing is actually I thought this was gonna last a lot less than this, like an hour, but it's an hour, more than an hour and a half for me for this. So now we're gonna do the next one. The next one is gonna be the entire cast of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So before I do that, I'm gonna get the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 soundtrack. And if I have to replay it again, I will. Well, let's do that. This one's not gonna be... Alright, so... Alright, no problem. Take care, Icepick. Thanks for stopping by. So, I'm gonna do them in terms of characters for this one. How much I like them versus how much I am indifferent or otherwise. Mega Man S? Well, I know that if we were talking about gameplay purposes, he wouldn't be an S, but he's actually pretty fun in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Just be sure not to mix up your Wolverines. Yeah, there's 2 Wolverines in the game, and it's pretty funny how there's 2 Wolverines. We got a regular one, and you got a Bone Claw. Like... Alright, there we go. Just want to make sure because like the music was not playing for a bit, but there we go. Alright. Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Let's do it. Let's start from the beginning. I'm not gonna do any order. We're gonna do Marvel characters first, and then we're gonna do the Capcom characters. We're gonna start with Marvel. So we're gonna start out with Wolverine. Bone Wolverine probably involves actual Marvel canon with the fact that Logan lost his adamantium. He did at one point, yes. So we're gonna do both Wolverines. It's like there's really not much difference between both Wolverines. Other than the fact that one is adamantium and one is bone. Wolverine is awesome. I will put them both here. I know people are probably gonna be like, why are you putting 2 of them there? And I'm like, sure, like, why not? Like, I don't mind having, I don't mind having both Wolverines there. But, like, it's still the same character. Logan, James Howlett, whatever people want to call him. Still the same character to me. And he's obviously one of my favorites, so yeah. Wolverine is an S tier. We're gonna put Spider-Man. Spider-Man, for me as a character, is S. Alright, where's Spider-Man? Right here. My favorite superhero of all. Nope, this is not Persona music. It's actually the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 soundtrack, which is pretty chill for what it is. Captain America is gonna go to A. Cyclops gets a B. I'm not the biggest fan of Cyclops, but he's actually pretty strong for what he is. Let's see, other characters. Next up is Iron Man. He gets an A. Even though Tony Stark is an asshole. You gotta admit, Iron Man is actually pretty good. I actually will put him above Captain America. And I will also put War Machine above Captain America. War Machine's pretty awesome too. All I know is, I hope that when I'm done with this list, that when it posts on Twitter, people don't think that, like, that I'll actually make a disclaimer saying this is not about competitive level Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's about the characters themselves. For this one. Cable's pretty awesome. I'm gonna put him in A. I actually like Sentinel a lot. Also an A. Magneto is an S rank, as is Storm. Psylocke as well. Well, actually, Psylocke is an A. Colossus gets a B. I mostly like Colossus in the X-Men 6-player game. Yeah, Cyclops was, yeah, Justin Wong was using Cyclops against IFC Yipes in Evo 2017, not Evo 2007 at a Marvel 2 tournament there. Yeah. It was a comeback moment with the tagline, never give up. Because you never give up, you just never know. You might actually come back. You might bounce back. Alright, so we got more Marvel characters. Venom's S. I fucking love Venom. I'll put him right over here. Gambit gets an A. Silver Samurai is going to get a C. Not too big on him. Like, he's more of an obscure character from the Marvel side of things. He's alright, but I'm not too crazy over it. I'll give Juggernaut a B. Like a high B. Hulk gets an A. Blackheart is going to get a lower A. Iceman, not really a big fan of Iceman. I'm going to give him a C. Shumagorath is going to get an A. Actually, he gets no S rank. I love Shumagorath. Not many people know who he is, but he's a Doctor Strange villain. Let's see, we got Doctor Doom. I'll put him in S. Thanos is going to get a B. I think my opinion of Thanos just soured over the years, and the whole Thanos snap meme combined with Endgame, as much as I like Infinity War and Endgame, I think I got pretty tired of Thanos as a character. Honestly, that's just how I feel. I just kind of like got burned out on them. Sabretooth is good. I'll put Sabretooth in A. Other Marvel characters I'm missing. Omega Red is gonna get a B. Any other Marvel characters? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, Spiral is gonna get a C. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 28. I actually have 2. I have Marrow. C, not too crazy. It's whatever. There is one more. Oh, Rogue. There she is. I was wondering where she was. Rogue gets an A. Okay, so that's all the Marvel characters. And now it's time to move on to the Capcom characters. Alright. Let's start off with the Street Fighter characters, shall we? Okay, Ryu is going to get a B. Ken gets an S. I love Ken. Let's see. I'll put Ken over here. Strider's an S. Strider is one of my favorites. Oh wait, no, we don't. Well, yeah, I'll leave him there. But I want to do the Street Fighter characters. Akuma is gonna get an A. What holds Akuma back is his health, but otherwise he's a good character, very powerful. Chun-Li is going to get an A. Same with Charlie, but Charlie's over here. Guile, however, is going to go over here to C. The lower C. I'm not too crazy over Guile, to be honest. Charlie is better than Guile. Like, Charlie Nash is better than Guile. Dan Hibiki gets an A. He may be a joke character, but he's a pretty damn good joke character. Zangief gets a B, as does Dhalsim. Cammy gets an A. And let's see, Sakura will get a... I'll put Sakura in lower A. Bison gets an A. So I think that, yeah, that's it for all the Street Fighter characters. Now we're gonna do the Mega Man characters. So Mega Man is gonna get an S. Roll gets a B. Tronbon gets an A. Surtbot gets an F. Yeah, Surtbot sucks. Let's see. Ruby Heart gets a C. Sansan gets a D. I don't like Sansan that much. Mingo also gets a D. Not a fan of him. Baby Bonnie Hood gets a B. Morgan gets an A. Anakaris gets a C. Felicia gets a B. Oh, no, Felicia gets a B over here. Hayato, I don't like his game. He gets a D. My brother likes him as a character, but Hayato, Star Gladiator, not that great of a game. Jin from Cyberbots, A. Next up is Captain Commando. He gets an S, and Jill gets an A. This is basically like going to be. I'm going to do this twice. So now we're going to shuffle this list up. We're going to do this again because we're going to do it in terms of competitive. So the competitive list goes as follows. We're going to change this up a bit. Alright. So for competitive, Wolverine is not even an S. He's more... this is going to be my opinion on it. So it goes right here. Spider-Man is A tier. I'm going to... Alright, so for the competitive, unfortunately, Mega Man is going to get a C at most. In terms of the competitive Marvel side. So... Let's see. Let's just get the usual suspects out of the way. Venom gets out of there. He's going to D. He's not that good in this game. Captain Commando goes to A. Bison goes to D. He's not that good in this game. And as a competitive character, obviously being a joke character, Dan goes to D. Roll's an F. Roll sucks in this game. Wait, where's Dan? Dan's right here. He goes to D. Ryu is going to go to C. Ken as well. Cable goes up to S rank. Jumagorath goes down to C. Yeah, Psycho Crusher. Let's see here. I'll move him up. I'll move Colossus up a bit, but I'll put Zangief down to D. Omega Red is right here. Dhalsim goes to C. Thanos goes to D. Blackheart goes to C. War Machine and Iron Man go to B. Captain America goes to C. Charlie goes to C. Gal goes to the bottom of C. Charlie goes up here. Move Soul Samurai to D. scene with Marrow. Juggernaut stays where he is, but well, he stays in the same column. Goes over here. Omega Red stays there. Felicia will go to the bottom B. Baby Bonnie Hood, BB Hood goes to D. Because as a character, if you play competitively, not that great. Not so great. Okay, next up, we got Psylocke goes to higher A. Also, a lot of these characters are going to be moving down. I'm moving down accordingly. Hulk goes to C. And this game is not that great. Gambit will go to B. Sakura goes to C. Sabretooth also goes to C. Rogue actually goes to D. She's not good in this game. She's a higher D though. Sentinel's an A or S. In fact, I'll actually move them up a bit. Storm stays there. Strider goes to A. Akuma goes to D because his health is a hindrance to him. Cammy goes to C. Tronbon actually stays in A. She will actually go right behind Spider-Man. Chun-Li goes to C. Iceman goes to C. Like he stays over here because he does not take chip damage. He has the most broken block in the game. Let's see. Jin actually goes to C. Jill actually goes to C. Morgan is going to be in B. And I think this is where like I leave this. So this will be the competitive version. So I'm actually going to put Doctor Doom over here in A. And yeah. Cyclops will move up to A. Right over here. I'll put Spider-Man here, move Psylocke right here. I think this looks good. But Colossus will, yeah, you know what? Colossus will go to the bottom B. Move Hulk up a little bit. And Icarus, actually I'll move Icarus to D. Do the same with Guile, actually. I'll move Guile to D. And Charlie. And Dawson. Move Wolverine over here. I think I will move Spiral over to D. Not that great of a character in the game. Alright. I think this is good enough. I will save this. This will be the competitive tier list. Go. Okay, good. Alright. Yeah, Jill's okay in terms of competitive. She's not the best. Alright. She's like low, she's like borderline mid to low tier. Alright. So we're gonna switch soundtracks. Alright, so we're gonna switch soundtracks and we're gonna switch themes because the next one we're gonna do is classic 2D Sonic songs. But yeah, that's what I'll do next. Alright, so now we're gonna go and do the Sonic music. Well, the Sonic music for the 2D Sonic era. So I'm gonna put up the soundtrack while I get the I get this. Let's do that. Copy. Alright, so let's do that. I will do that. Let's go. Alright. Paste and go. We're gonna do this. Classic 2D Sonic songs. We're gonna start off with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Okay, so Sonic 1 is where we start. Yeah, well, you like the new scenes that I put in. Alright, so Sonic 1. So, Sonic 1, in my personal opinion, while a good game, the other 2D Sonic games just are so much better than it in so many ways. So right now we got, we definitely have a lot going on with these. The music stands out still as some of the best there is, but the games don't really represent the series. Like Sonic 1 doesn't really represent the series anywhere near as much as the others in terms of what it can bring to the table. It's hard to go back to Sonic 1 when you play other games. The bit from Pepsi menu including your updated intro. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and start this up. We're Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone is definitely a classic. So people need to remember, this is in terms of just the music alone, not the stages, just the music. I will put this in A. I don't want to overrate it too much, but I think A is good enough as it is. I don't want to overrate it. It's relaxing, it's calm, it's cool. And it's a really good first track, and now like that track is associated with Sonic as a character forever. Next up is the track we're playing right now, Marble Zone. You know, that's a good point. I'll give it an S just for that, because it's so recognizable, like, and it's really good. This one, however, Marble is good. I'm gonna give it a B. But the music doesn't fit the stage. But the music itself is just, it just feels a bit out of place. But it's fine for what it is. Alright. Next up is going to be Spring Yard Zone. Spring Yard Zone is actually really cool. I'm gonna put it A. Like the music, it feels like early 90s pop music. That's the vibe that I get when I hear it. Like it feels like early 90s pop. So I'll put Spring Yard Zone in A. Labyrinth Zone, I hate Labyrinth Zone as a stage, but the music is not bad. I'll give it a C. It's okay, but there's definitely better music that came from water stages in later Sonic games. Yeah, the music playing right now is from Spring Yard Zone. But Labyrinth Zone is just like, it fits what it's going for. It's just not really that great of a stage. We'll get to Sonic 3 music in a little bit though. Alright. Next up is Starlight Zone. Classic. It gets the A. I'll put it right here. A classic stage. Classic music. Really catchy music. Probably one of the catchier ones. Not as much as Green Hill, but it's really good. So, I'll give it an A. Scrap Brain Zone. I'm gonna give this one a B. The stage itself may not be so great, especially the third act, but the music itself is really good. It gives you a little eeriness because you're going to this like machinery area, like a plant, like a power plant. All the mechanical obstacles that Sonic has to go through in order to get to Dr. Robotnik or Dr. Eggman, depending on what you want to call them. It's a unique stage, but the music itself is just okay. Alright, let's switch soundtracks. Let's do Sonic 2 OST. Alright, so Sonic 2 OST, we're gonna do this right here. Oh, Final Zone, D. Music is not that great. I forgot about that one. Alright. So let's do Well, special stage is a D for Sonic 1. Alright, so now I'm done with Sonic 1. We're going to Sonic 2 now. Emerald Hill is an A. It's memorable, not as memorable as Green Hill, but it's good enough. In terms of the music. It's catchy. It's a bit too similar in a way, but it's catchy enough. It's more upbeat compared to Green Hill. Green Hill's more in your face, while Emerald Hill is like an upbeat version in a way. Chemical Plant is an S. Amazing track. I love this track so much. It feels like a early 90s hard rock theme. Or it could also pass them as like a futuristic music. It works just as well as it is. I like it. Okay, Aquatic Ruin. Aquatic Ruin is going to get. Let's see here. I'll give Aquatic Ruin a B. I really like the instruments of it. I really like the way it sounds like. This is a better water theme. And the thing is, that stage, you don't even need to go to the water at all. You can skip it if you know what to do. You stay on top. Are these extended versions? Oh, I'll play the next one. Actually, no, not this one. The next track that we're going to talk about. Casino Night Zone. This one gets an A. Casino Night. Sounds so good. It's catchy. It fits the mood because you're going to a casino. It sounds like one of those like classic swing music from like the 30s and 40s. Gives you a vibe, giving you that energy where it's like, okay, it's time to go to a casino. This does not include Sonic Mania. It's only the Genesis games and the Sonic CD. For Sonic CD, we'll talk about that when we get there, because it's going to be difficult for me to explain that one. But it's good. I really like this one. Classic, catchy, upbeat, gets you moving, gives you some energy. Maybe I'll put it an S for the simple fact that there's so much of it that it gives you in terms of emotion. Like, you're just in so many good moods. I like this track so much. So, Casino Night is fantastic. One of the best tracks in 2D Sonic games. Hilltop Zone is actually okay. I'll give it a C. Decent track, but it doesn't really bring too much to the table like other tracks. It's okay. Mystic Cave Zone, however, is really good. I'm gonna give it a higher B. Let's get the special stage out of the way. B. Probably this. Actually, yeah, right here. Hidden Palace Zone. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing about Hidden Palace Zone. This was actually a stage that was cut from the game. And the reason it was cut from the game is because of time constraints. And they just couldn't design the stage as well. However, in the iOS version of Sonic 2, they actually added more content, including Hidden Palace, but they did not use the Hidden Palace theme. What I will do is count the Hidden Palace theme that went unused. In fact, I will give it a B. It's decent. You can listen to it in the sound test. Hey, Jester, good to see you, buddy. we're just doing some tier lists now. Like, I did the Mega Man Robot Masters, and I did 2 versions of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tier list. One based on the characters themselves and how I like them, and the other based on competitive. Now I'm doing the Sonic 2 stage music. The Sonic 2 stage music, rather Sonic, not just Sonic 2, but Sonic 2D stage music from 1 to Sonic and Knuckles, and it includes Sonic CD. Oil Ocean? C. The music is okay. It could be so much better. It fits, I don't know, it fits the mood, but it's just not that great of the music. Not that great of a track. Next up, we got Metropolis Zone. Metropolis Zone gets an A. It's really good. And Metropolis Zone is very memorable. I think that, in terms of the stage itself, it's hit and miss, because there's a lot of flaws that the stage has. But the music, I feel like they really knocked it out of the park with this one. It reminds me of like hard rock music. That's the vibe I get, like hard rock music from Metropolis Zone. Sky Chase is pretty upbeat. It's pretty lighthearted. I'll give it a B. Wayne Fortress, however, is heavy with the instrumentations. It gets a higher B. And Death Egg Zone. This is the last one from Sonic 2. You don't really get to hear it much because it's a short stage. But when you listen to it in the sound test, it's actually pretty good. I'll give it a B. Yeah, hope you're doing well, Jester. Good to see you. Alright, so that's it for Sonic 2. That's it for Sonic 2, so we're going to be switching the music to Sonic CD. Sonic CD OST. Alright. There's two. Okay, so here's the. Alright. I'll explain. So I'll explain right now. So the Sonic CD OST, there's 2 soundtracks, but we're only going to count one of the soundtracks. And I'm good because there's a Japanese/European soundtrack and there's an American one. We're going to be counting the Japanese soundtrack, which people say is superior. I'm going to go with that one. So let's start that up. So let me go ahead and get this one. Sonic CD. Hey, Derek. Sonic CD has two tracks per stage, or rather, Japanese and American. You like the American one because of the boss music? Yeah, the boss music in that was good. All right, so okay, let's figure this all out. All right, so Sonic CD, Palm Tree Panic is the first one. And the thing is that, like, there's 4 pieces of music each. There's the present, the past, the good future, and the bad future. And what you do in the past can alter you want to have the good future. That said, it's complicated to have Sonic CD because of the fact that they have so many different factors to it. But I'm going to give Palm Tree Panic overall a B. Not as good as Emerald Hill or Green Hill, but it stands out. It's fun. And the thing is that Sonic CD is like, they actually use like a more techno-y version, techno-y music, because because that's what they were going for. But the American soundtrack, they just use hard rock. The reason why is because techno did not really take off in America yet. It did later, just not yet. It was ahead of its time. We would have to wait till the mid-90s for stuff like that. Techno and Eurobeat, trance, all that stuff. Alright. You destroy all the roboticizers in the past in each act zone. You get all the time stones. Once you get all 7, it's a good feature from here on out. Yep. Because once you get all the time stones, you're good. Next up is Collision Chaos. The music is fantastic. All versions of them. Past, present, good, and bad future. I'm gonna give it a B as well. Right over here. The music is just a lot of fun to listen to. Tidal Tempest? Tidal Tempest will actually get you actually get to see. Not too crazy over it. Same thing with Quartz Quadrants. Not sure if I said it right. Not too crazy for that one either. Sonic CD++, spin dash, jump dash, and makes it a lot faster. They need to port Sonic CD to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PS5, and Series X. They need to do that. Alright. Now, let's do the next one. Wacky Workbench. Oh, this is a good track. I'm going to give it an A. Stardust Speedway, however, gets an S. Oh my god. Stardust Speedway is easily, like, amazing. Like, amazing. And the bad future of that track is associated with Metal Sonic as a character. Originally, in Sonic CD, like if you played the Genesis version, then the Sega CD version, or if you play it on like PC or in the GameCube, when you give me 1 second. Okay, so when you actually play against when you actually go up against Metal Sonic in the boss fight in Stardust Speedway, what happens is this. You would have like the good future playing if you get the good future, whatever. Because like if you get the good future, it will still play. Then if you go to the bad future, it will play. But if you're playing the 2011 version of the game, they actually change it so that even if you get the good future will play until you face against Metal Sonic. When you face against Metal Sonic, the bad future will be playing, because that is basically the theme they decide to go with. Stardust Speedway is so good. Yeah. Alright, so Stardust Speedway is, in my opinion, the best track, like the best set of tracks for Sonic CD, in my personal opinion. The American one's pretty good too. Okay, so we got one more. Well, actually, we got a couple more. Let's do a special stage. I'm gonna put it in B, like over here. It actually sounds really fun, really good. And then we got the Metallic Madness. Metallic Madness gets an A. Really good stuff. Metallic Madness is so good. It gets you pumped up because you know you're getting close to the end of the game. It's good. It's not going to be easy road. However, you got to get through it. Yeah, Sonic CD to me is a very underrated Sonic game. They need to port Sonic R? Yes, they should. The game is, I actually think that Sonic R is pretty fun. Like, it gets a lot of hate. It's not that bad. It's not. Not that bad of a game. Alright. Alright. Next up, we got we got the final boss theme, which is actually really good. Goes here. At the final boss. But that's Sonic CD. Very underrated Sonic game. Now let's get Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles music. Alright, so let's get the Sonic music going. Back, let's go. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Two halves of a masterpiece. What really holds the boat back is the fact that they're both separate games. If it wasn't for that... Excuse me. If it wasn't for that, it would have been more higher up. The game, so Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles was meant to be one game, just Sonic 3. There's a reason why it was rushed, and then they had to split the game in half. Not because of the Michael Jackson music, that's not even the reason. Not because of the fact that they wanted to reach a deadline for Groundhog Day, that's not the reason. You want to know what the reason is? You never guess. You would never guess. The reason that they decided to split the game in half is McDonald's Happy Meal. Yes, see, Destiny got it. The McDonald's Happy Meal. Because if they would have delayed the game, and if they would have told McDonald's that they were going to do that, McDonald's would have pieced the fuck out. And they would get no deal. Because it was one of those things where it was an opportunity that they wanted to get. They wanted to have. It would have screwed the deal completely. In hindsight, I would have just said no. I would have just negotiated. Even if it meant like having to pay more money to allow the delay to happen. Like, by the delay, and the delay would have probably lasted a couple more months. I think the game would have been ready by summer. Because there were 3 stages that were Sonic and Knuckles that were actually finished. Like, one was actually almost finished, and 2 of them, like, they were still worked on, but they ended up scrapping them and putting them into that game. In fact, Flying Battery was actually one of the stages that was supposed to take place after Carnival Night or before Ice Cap, but they decided to switch everything around. So after Carnival Night would be Ice Cap, and then they put Flying Battery. Flying Battery was, I think, was the closest to being complete out of all those stages, because it almost made it into the main game. And what happened is that they ended up moving it and other stages that weren't finished over to Sonic and Knuckles. The last time that Sonic 3 was ported to any platform was back in 2011 in the Sonic in the Sega Genesis Sega Classics collection on Steam. It's on Xbox 360, but after that it was on Steam. So if I were to ever stream Sonic, because I plan on streaming Sonic again, like those classic Sonic games, as well as 3D ones. If I'm gonna do Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, the only version I can actually do right now is Steam. I'd say Steam. I'd say definitely do it on Steam. Okay, so let's get on to the tracks. Angel Island. So here's the thing. Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are the first Sonic games that have 2 versions of the same track, Act 1 and Act 2. So they're going to be paired up as a set. Though sometimes one act is better than the other. Oh, never mind then. I just noticed that they're listed here twice. I just noticed that they listed here twice. Yeah, I'd rather not talk about Michael Jackson right now, to be honest. Let's get on with the music. Angel Island Act 1. Okay, so forget what I was saying that they would be paired up as a set, because turns out they actually do have both acts. With a few exceptions, the ones that actually have their own tracks, or rather one stage. So Angel Island is going to get an A, both acts. Though I do like Act 2 more than Act 1. Alright, so Hydrocity, I never know what to pronounce. I think it's Hydrocity or Hydrocity. S. Both of them. S. Marble Garden Zone is going to get a B. Both acts. I'll put it right here. Yeah, right there. Marble Garden's pretty good. Carnival Nights is actually going to go right here. The A. So I do like Act 1 a little more than Act 2. Ice Cap goes to S. Oh my god, Ice Cap is so good. Ice Cap Zone is so good. Oh my god. It's like one of my favorites to come out of this game. And the fun fact about this is this track is based off a track from a band that never had an album that was canceled. There was actually a band called the Jetsons with a Z in the name instead of an S. And that band was named after the show, the Jetsons, but not related in any way. Now, if you put... Yeah, the Sonic 2 one, yeah, like, it's good, but it's not great. We'll get to the bonus stage, the special stage in a little bit. But the name of the track is called Hard Times. It's not a Michael Jackson track. It's actually from a band called Jetsons. I'd say look it up. It's actually it's a good song. Wow, that's actually crazy. Destiny, I'm sorry to hear that. Launch Bass is actually really good. Like, it sounds so good. I love it. I'm gonna put it in A. Special stage, F. Just kidding. It's going to A. I hope I didn't catch you guys. It actually goes to A. Yeah. Mushroom Hill Zone. I'll put it in C. Not the best. One of the weaker tracks. It's fine, but it's not that great. Flying Battery is awesome. That goes to S. Flying Battery is so good. Probably the best. One of the best ones that come from Sonic 3. Xenopolis, we'll go to D. Not really big on them. Lava Reef goes to C. Act 1 and Act 2. And the thing is that Hidden Palace Zone shares the same track as Act 2. Like the one from Sonic 3, Knuckles. Do you remember how we mostly got Sonic Generations on 3DS was mostly 2D? Yeah. I actually have it. Surprisingly, nothing's gonna be an F. I just realized I don't even need an F rank for this. There's nothing for F here. Alright, so Sky Sanctuary is gonna get a lower S. Death Egg 1 and 2 will go to A. The final boss theme is also A. And Doomsday Zone, S. That is the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and CD. I will post this right now. Oh, I'll just save it. Everything will be posted at the end of the stream. Alright. That's the Sonic tier list for the music. A lot of really good tracks. Surprisingly, nothing for F. I ended up just deleting F, because why keep it there if I don't put anything there? Alright, so I've been watching GDQ this weekend. They were doing good Sonic games and have a very, very good batch. That's good. Alright, so the next topic. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do something a little bit different right now. We're going to do some Disney movies. Actually, no, actually we're not. We're going to do Nickelodeon. But I'm not going to play any Nickelodeon music, so instead I'm just going to pick a random soundtrack. I'm going to play music from Fatal Fury that's in Smash. So we'll go ahead and do that. While I get this ready, so let me go ahead and do that. We're going to do Nicktoons. Because I don't want to play any Nickelodeon music because I'm not sure how that's going to be in regards to copyright, but I'd rather just not do that. Alright, let's start. I'll start with this one. Okay. Nickelodeon. We'll do Disney eventually, but we're going to do Nickelodeon right now. Alright. So we're gonna start it up with. Let's start up with a couple of shows. Alright, like I've never watched the Winx Club. Apparently Nickelodeon owns them now, so it counts, but I've never watched it, so I put it I've never watched. I haven't watched all of Legend of Korra, but from what I've seen is actually an A. Let's see. Welcome to Wayne. I don't know what this is. I haven't watched this, so I'll put it up there. Alright, let's see. I don't even know what this is, so I'm putting this right here. Buds is a Beast is an F. I've seen one episode of it. Nope. Nope. Alright, Planet Sheen's an F. Let's get some of the F's out of the way. Angelica Susie's Preschool Days gets an F. Let's get a couple of F's out of the way. Where is Sanjay and Craig? Right here. Wait, where's Breadwinners at? I'm trying to find. Oh, Breadwinners gets an F. I don't even know what this is, so this goes over here. Never seen it. Unfortunately, never. Oh, Harvey Beaks, I've never seen it. Haven't really watched enough of the Loud House, so I'm just gonna put haven't watched the Loud House. I don't know what this is, so this goes here. Where's the Loud House at? And I've never seen the Casa Grandes. So, what's that show an F about? Buns is a Beast? It's just a weird beast. It's made by the same guy, Butch Hartman, who worked on Danny Phantom, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Tough Puppy. Oh, Tough Puppy, I'm gonna give it a D. It's better than these shows, but it's not that much better. Oh, All Grown Up is gonna get a C. It's not that bad. It's a mediocre at best show. Mediocre at best. If you like, Angelica and Susie's Preschool Days is the bad one. That one's bad. It only had like 4 episodes, I believe. I don't even know what this is, so this goes here. Okay. Cat Scratch. I'm gonna put it in D. Actually, I'll put an F. Mainly because of the fact that the creator of Cat Scratch is homophobic. And he completely ruined the show for me. He's the same guy that made Earthworm Jim. So, yeah, fuck him. Let's start with some of the classic ones. I've never actually watched Attack of the Power Juju cartoon, so... And sorry, Destiny, I've never watched Rise of Ninja Turtles, so I'm gonna have to put it here. But don't worry, I'll get to it someday. Don't worry, I'll get to it someday. Let's start with the classics. Alright, Doug. A. I love Doug so much. Doug is one of my favorite shows growing up. The Cartoon, not the Cartoon Network, the Disney Doug sucks. It's awful. It should have never been made. The fact that Nickelodeon let Doug slip out of their hands pisses me off. Nickelodeon one's great. A is good. A great start to Nicktoons' legacy, because this year marks the 30th anniversary of Nicktoons. Next up is Rugrats. Here's the thing about Rugrats. If it would have just ended after the 3rd season, it would have been an S. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it a B. Well, actually, no, I'll get an A. No, yeah, a B. Because the later seasons kind of bring it down a bit. So Rugrats is here. So unfortunately, Rugrats is not going to be placed high because unfortunately, like, a lot of the later seasons bring it down. First 3 seasons alone are worth it. Next up is Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy. Okay. Hey, what's going on? Son, good to see you. Okay, so here's the thing about this with Ren and Stimpy. John K, the creator, is a horrible human being. He's done so much to the animation industry, so many different levels. I won't go into the complete details about him. Some people may know, but those that don't, let's just say real quick, he's horrible, and I hope no one ever works with him. That said, for Ren and Stimpy in its own merits, I feel that with the season, because here's the thing, John K only worked on the first and half of the 2nd season. The other half of season 2 was actually done by Games Entertainment. Ren and Stimpy did get better. I enjoyed Ren and Stimpy, and it did get better. I would have put an S, but a lot of stuff did not age well. So I'm going to put it in A. And I'm going to say that the legacy of Ren and Stimpy is better without John K. Rocko's Modern Life. Let's get this one out of the way. Rocko's Modern Life is easily my favorite Nicktoon of all time, and there's nothing that will be able to touch that. Where is Rocko at? Where is Rocko? Right here. S. Rocko's Modern Life is easily like the cream of the crop. Like, I don't see any Nicktoon ever touching that. Like, that one is so good. I love it so much. Rocko means so much to me growing up. More than Doug, more than Rugrats, more than Ren and Stimpy, more than any show that came after that from Nicktoons. Rocko, everything about it. And the movie was amazing. I'm glad they brought it back with that. Like, everything about Rocko's Modern Life, everything is a dangerous day. You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands. And then you turn the page, and then you wash your hands. There's just so much. They got away with a lot. There was a chicken place named Choky Chicken, but I'm not gonna explain the reason what it is. I'm not gonna explain what it is here, but Nickelodeon caught on to that joke, and then they changed it to Chewy Chicken. which I think it's fine because I think there's a lot of raunchy stuff that they couldn't get away with, and that's one they shouldn't have gotten away with, but they somehow did get away with it. There was an episode where they went to the carnival and they used the word hell there, but then when Heifer actually went to hell, they actually changed it to heck. So, all the adult themes in this show, it was just so good. Like, Rocco was so good. Yeah, some of the music for Ren and Stimpy was reused with SpongeBob. Yeah, we'll get to SpongeBob soon. Yep. Not all of it, but some of it. Yeah, I remember Urinating Tree. He was a YouTuber who reviewed some games and then he stopped and switched gears. Next up is Iron Monsters. This one gets a B. Good show. Good show. It was the second show from Classy Supo. Classy Supo, after they finished Rugrats, they went on to make Iron Monsters. A good show that, in general, for its own merits. Besides Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Doug, Rocket Power, Kablam, Chalk Zone, I'm not a fan of Nick shows. I was mostly Cartoon Network kind of guy. I will do a Cartoon Network tier list someday. We'll get to that eventually. But Our Monsters was really good. I had fun with it. Next up is Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold is an S. Easily my second favorite. I love Hey Arnold so much. I feel like it's better than Doug, and it has a lot of really good, like, it's more relatable, like, because it's more like a real world theme. I like the way they did it though. Yeah, I'm glad Hey Arnold finally got the closure it deserved. Seriously. The worst episode of Hey Arnold everybody seems to agree on is the one where the character Iggy was seen wearing a bunny suit when Arnold paid a visit. I think he was absent, and then he ended up like going into his place. I think it was to deliver homework. I don't remember, that was it. And then he happened to notice that Iggy was wearing a bunny suit, and Iggy made Arnold promise not to ever tell anybody. But for whatever reason, he never told anybody. Sid, Stinky, and Harold all managed to somehow guess that. And then they started spreading that. And Iggy found out about it, he was pissed, and he refused to ever forgive Arnold. And then months have passed, and the only way Arnold was going to be able to get forgiveness from Iggy is if Arnold were to wear a bunny suit and go in front of a crowd to embarrass himself. And then what happened next is Arnold does that, but then it turned out Iggy overhears a conversation from Stinky, Sid, and Harold that Arnold actually never told anything. Like, they just guessed it. Iggy's shocked about that. He tries to stop it, but it was too late. And now Arnold hates Iggy because Arnold had to endure a huge embarrassment over this. And then everybody laughed. Everybody was there laughing. All his friends, except for Gerald. Gerald wasn't there. So that proves that Gerald is a true friend to Arnold. Worst episode ever. There were some bad episodes, but that's the worst. But the show was really good. So good. But don't let one bad episode ruin the series, though. The Marvel Adventure, man, it's been a while. Next up is Kablam. Kablam is going to get a C. It's a decent show. Like, when it's on, I will always watch it, but I wouldn't consider it to be one of the best. But it's fun for what it is. It had segments such as Life with Loopy, Action League Now, Prometheus and Bob, Sniz and Fondue, the Offbeats. Hell, Angela Anaconda actually came from that before it moved to the... And that show ended up becoming a spin-off that would air on Fox Family, later ABC Family for some reason. They had a variety of shows. They changed directions later on, but it lasted for a couple of seasons. Decent show, and then it had the Action League Now spinoff, which is not on here for some reason. Next up is the Angry Beavers. The Angry Beavers gets an A. Angry Beavers is fun. I like this show. Is the Amanda Show on here? No, because it's only the animated ones. Amanda Show is live action. Angry Beavers is great. Two Beaver brothers living their lives as beavers. Yeah, it got canceled because it broke a rule. And the audio got leaked, so if somebody were to reanimate it, like that's gonna be a tough thing to do. But still a great show. I had fun with it. The rule is like you're not supposed to acknowledge the fact that your show is ending, because there was actually a very last episode called Bye Bye Beavers. It was meant to be the finale, and that like the beavers were going to disappear, and in the end it said, "Don't worry, you'll see us on reruns." It was breaking the fourth wall. You can't acknowledge that the show is ending. And yeah, for whatever reason, there was actually an episode where they bleeped out the words "shut up," to which they made fun of that here. Which I don't know why, but whatever. But still a good show. I used to always look forward to Angry Beavers. It's like whenever we would go out, like that's like that was like probably like a show from Nickelodeon that I knew that I would always make sure that I would be home in time when it's on. It was that good. So next up is Cat Dog. B. Cat Dog is a B. Cat Dog's a good show. Cat Dog was fun. You had like two characters lumped up as one. Two brothers, a cat and a dog. Oh, I was gonna get to that. Like in a little bit. Cat Dog is a good show. I had fun watching this show. Wilson, I think it was Winslow, and then you have Branson Rabbit, you had the Greaser Dogs, you had there were a couple other characters, but I like that TV movie that they did where they looked for their parents and then they found their parents, or at least the ones that took care of them. Their biological parents, however, no one will ever know what happened to them. But it was still good. So then we move on to later in the 1990s. Two Super Dogs? No, that's Cartoon Network. That's Cartoon Network, son. We'll do a Cartoon Network list at some point. Next up is the Wild Thornberrys. The Wild Thornberrys. B. Good show for what it is. But you wanna know what's the one thing that makes that show special? Nigel Thornberry is what makes that show special. Let's be honest. The show itself has its moments, but it's not like amazing compared to everything else. Nigel Thornberry is what sells the show for everybody. To me, he should be the main character. Smashing! Such a good show. Because it's basically the third show Klasky Csupo worked on with Nickelodeon. They were actually working on a lot of shows. They were like a powerhouse at the time. Yeah. Next up we got we're gonna go into a bigger territory because Nickelodeon in 1999 had the biggest breakthrough in the history of Nickelodeon that completely changed them forever. And that show is SpongeBob SquarePants. So, SpongeBob SquarePants. Where do I rank it? Here's the thing. The first 3 seasons and the movie are the prime of the show. and then the quality goes down. Then it comes back up, only to go back down again. Went back down right after Steven Hillenburg died. It went back up when Steven Hillenburg was back on the show. So, on average, it's not going to go on F for me, because the first 3 seasons are legendary. But overall, where does the show go? Because I have to take everything into account, because it has every Nicktoon here, so I have to do that. So, SpongeBob is going to be on B, the high B. A lot of the later seasons hold it back. It became too popular for its own good. I do wonder what would have happened if they would have just ended it on its own terms. I'll tell you this right now. If they would have ended it on its own terms, it would have been S rank. It would have been, to me, the best show Nickelodeon's ever done. Even, well, behind Rocco, of course. Many other shows died because of SpongeBob, because if a show could not do better than a SpongeBob rerun, then that's the kiss of death. I don't know if they still do that. Yeah, I heard about that. That's actually pretty bad. Okay, next up, we go into the later part of 1999. We got our next show, which is the 4th show from Classic Super, Rocket Power. That one gets a C. It's fine. There's some moments where it doesn't age well, doesn't hold up. But you wonder what's the one thing that actually makes Nickelodeon, Rocket Power special to me? What makes Rocket Power special is Tito with his ancient Hawaiian sayings. So good. The show came out at the right place, right time, going for the skateboard culture, because skateboard culture has been around since like forever, but the late 90s were a huge high for it. So much so that this came out like when skateboard culture was actually like growing and growing. But the show is dated for me, so I have to give it a C. Like, it doesn't really hold up as well for me like it used to. If you would have asked me like in 1999, I would have said this would have been an A. But I'm gonna give it a C. A C+. And now we move on to the year 2000. So the next show is As Told by Ginger. So what's my thoughts on it? This show gets an A. This show is awesome. Oh, over here. As Told by Ginger is really good. Like, I feel like that's like as real as it can get. Yeah, Nickelodeon definitely did it dirty within like the last like 2 seasons, but it was a really good show. It had a couple of TV movies. Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side. It had an original theme that was kind of generic, but it was made better when they had singer Macy Gray do it, and it's stuck ever since. It's so much superior to the original one that they were gonna go with, where it was generic as hell, but the one that Macy Gray did was so better. The show was great writing. It's more real compared to Nickelodeon's other shows at the time. It gives me this like same vibe as Hey Arnold, not same vibe, same vibe as Doug, but more amplified. I like it a lot. I will say I never watched the last 2 seasons because they took it off the Nickelodeon and moved it to Nicktoons. But Nicktoons was not like the kiss of death at the time that it would eventually become. But still, As Told by Ginger is the thing about this show is it came out in 2001 as like one of the 2 new shows that they were hyping up, and it was really good writing, unique characters, unique setting. You had an alien who was like a very low class, like the lowest class alien sent to Earth to take over and destroy it. And he ended up just like living a lifestyle. I've never actually seen the movie Enter the Fortress. I still gotta watch that. But what I seen of the show was really good. They never really finished it on its own terms, but I still have to watch it though. Still have to watch the Enter the Fortress. Oh yeah, Zim and Dib, yeah. Yeah, it came out at the wrong time, at the right place, but it did get popular years later. There's been a debate about there's been a debate about where, like, if it got good ratings or not. I'm pretty sure it did, but still, its legacy is it's one of the best shows ever made. Next up is Fairly Odd Parents. Man, here's the thing about Fairly Odd Parents. The first few seasons of it was really good. The reason that Fairly Odd Parents was really good, they had good writing, good characters, it was a lot of fun. They had a couple TV movies, really good stuff. And then it had like multiple finales. They didn't know how they wanted to end it. But then they brought it back. Like what was supposed to be the finale was the Channel Chasers. That was a good one. That was supposed to be the finale. Another finale that they had planned was the third Jimmy Neutron crossover, because it had 3 crossovers with Jimmy Neutron. The first one, we'll get to that in a moment. Because the first one, and I guess I might as well just talk about Jimmy Neutron as well afterwards. Jimmy Neutron actually gets an A. Actually gets a B. But for Fairly Odd Parents, Channel Chasers was supposed to be the true finale, but the third Jimmy Neutron Timmy Turner crossover was supposed to be a finale as well. And they decided to continue the show with the baby Poof. Not a good character. Then you had the dog, and then you had the girl. I don't really care about what her name is. Then the show just died because Butch Hartman left Nickelodeon. So I'm going to give this a C. I'll give it a C. Cause it would have been higher, but like a lot of the later seasons brought it down. Oh, I'll talk about that. Okay, so Adventure Time was part of a show called Random Cartoons, which is similar to Oh Yeah Cartoons, but Nicktoons had their own thing, Random Cartoons. It was rejected 5 times. I thought it was rejected twice. And not only that they rejected that, you want to know another show that was on Random Cartoons that Nickelodeon rejected, Destiny? They rejected Bravest Warriors. It was originally pitched for Nickelodeon. Then it became a web cartoon. So yeah. They rejected Bravest Warriors as well as Adventure Time. And they chose Fanboy and Chum Chum, which Fanboy and Chum Chum gets a fucking F. That show sucks. Yeah, Nickelodeon rejected Ed and Eddie. Well, they rejected it after Danny Antonucci said no. Funny enough, Nickelodeon also rejected Powerpuff Girls, but I'll talk about that when I get to the Cartoon Network stuff. Eventually. But let's continue. So Jimmy Neutron, let's talk about that. Jimmy Neutron started off as a movie, and then like they ended up like making it into a show, became a hit. I've never seen the movie all the way through. I've only seen bits and pieces. I've never seen the movie all the way through, but I've seen the show. I've seen all the episodes of the show. Fantastic show. It's amazing. Well, not amazing, but it's good. It's fun. And the fact that they actually managed to have the crossover with Jimmy Neutron, there was originally going to be another Jimmy and Timmy crossover, but there was going to be another show that was going to cross over with them, that's SpongeBob. But I think the plans for that got canceled around the time when Steven Hillenburg left the show for SpongeBob. So they decided not to do the crossover with all three of those shows and just focus on doing the second and the third crossovers with Jimmy and Timmy. Instead, the first one was a Fairly Odd Parents episode. The second one felt more like a Jimmy Neutron episode. And the third one feels like a mix of both, because that was a finale. Yeah, the company behind Jimmy Neutron went bankrupt, but the other company that worked with Jimmy Neutron will work on another show called Back in the Barnyard. They made a movie of that too. I'm gonna give it a D. Not that great of a show. Let's talk about Constant Pain for a little bit. So that was a show that was originally going to be coming out in 2001. It was going to be an action show with a steampunk setting. And the reason that it got canceled is because of the fact that around the time, like, it was a terrible timing for it. It was due to the fact that there was a writer's strike, or there was a union strike in 2001. And because of the fact that he did not like the fact that Nickelodeon didn't care for unions, the show never made it past the pilot. So Constant Pain was never picked up. Like, it was never really officially canceled, it was just never actually picked up. You can't actually cancel something that was never aired in the first place. Unfortunate though. I've seen clips of the pilot. Looked like it had potential, but it just never meant to be. So that's Constant Pain. He still owns the rights to the show. That's good. I see what you mean there, Dragon. Okay, next show, Chalk Zone. So here's the thing. I never actually mentioned this, but Fairly Odd Parents was actually the first spin-off. Fairly Odd Parents was the first spin-off from Oh Yeah Cartoons. Second spin-off was actually Chalk Zone. C. Right over here. A boy who has a chalk and he can go inside a new world. Made new friends. It's a really cool idea. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it was a cool idea that just didn't really like catch my interest anywhere near enough to want to keep watching the show. I feel like they just try different ideas, and I feel like they kind of drag it a little bit. I like the Oh Yeah Cartoons versions of them, but then it's like when it came out as a show, it just didn't really click like that. It was okay. Chalk Zone's a decent show. Next up is one other show that was actually a spin-off of Oh Yeah Cartoons, and that's My Life as a Teenage Robot. You want to talk about a show that has been done dirty by Nickelodeon Destiny more than Chalk Zone? My Life as a Teenage Robot had dealt with it even worse. After 2 seasons, Nickelodeon gave up on the show, but there were more seasons after that. It's a really good show. I really like this one a lot. This one will get an A. It was done dirty worse. Way worse. Really good show. Next up is Danny Phantom. 3 seasons. But the 3rd season is kind of the weakest season of them all. But it was still good enough, so it's going to get a B. Next up is Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that gets an S. Avatar: The Last Airbender is really good. Let's see. I don't even know what this show is, so I'm putting it right here. I don't even know what this one is. Or this. Monsters vs. Aliens. I've never Oh, Monsters vs. Aliens gets a D. Penguins of Madagascar is actually a C. Decent show. I actually don't mind it. Oh, Camp Corral. Oh, I'm putting an F. I'm never watching this show. No. Camp Corral is basically spitting in the legacy of Steven Hillenburg. This show should have never been made, and I'm hearing that they're spitting it to make it say that he actually greenlit the show, that he was okay with it before he passed. No, he did not. Oh, Camp Lazlo's Cartoon Network. That's going to be on the Cartoon Network one. Yeah, I put Rise of Ninja Turtles on haven't watched because I gotta watch it myself. Yeah, Brian Robbins is like one of the guys who worked on all that. And Kenan and Kel. I think he also worked on the Amanda Show as well. Mighty B is going to go on to D. I don't like this show. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Not really a fan of it. I don't even know what this is, so I'm gonna put it on never watched. The X's, I'll put it on lower C. It was okay. Here it goes. El Tigre is a better show. I'll give it a C, but I'm not really too crazy over it. I've never seen the Kung Fu Panda show. So the only show I have left is the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show, and it gets an S. when he lies. Wait, what's... Oh, that's the unused version of Transylvania. They actually changed that up. Alright, anyway. Okay, let's continue. Next one is going to be, and this movie, the next one is going to be Fantasia. S. Fantasia is indeed a masterpiece. All the segments in that movie are great, but the best segment to come from that movie is the sorcerer, not the Sorcerer's Stone, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's what it was called. With Mickey Mouse learning sorcery or magic, and he was causing a lot of mischief. This was a huge masterpiece, but it did not do well in the box office that time because around that time, like, it just didn't, it underperformed. Yeah, but Fantasia, like, when it would be re-released in theaters and then like onto the Disney home video and DVD and Blu-ray and all that, it did so much better later on and is more respected. It's a great movie. It really does live up to all the expectations people would have for it. They really did a good job with this one. So Fantasia. But the last time I've seen, I need to see this movie again. The last time I've seen it was when it was re-released in theaters once again, but back in 1991. So I'm gonna have to start watching some Disney movies on Disney Plus more often and just watch it there. Okay, next up. Now here's a movie that got completely screwed over. And that's Fun and Fancy Free. But people mostly remember this for Mickey and the Beanstalk. I'm gonna put it in B. Right here. People mostly remember this for Mickey and the Beanstalk. And the reason this movie got screwed over is because of the fact that Fun and Fancy Free was supposed to be a lot longer than it actually was. The reason it wasn't, it was because of World War II, believe it or not. Because the US Army interfered and they flat out stole a lot of animation cells, and they forced Disney and many other animated companies around that time to make propaganda films, propaganda cartoons to promote for the World War II. And there were a lot of stuff that was affected around that time, and unfortunately Fun and Fancy Free was affected. So people mostly remember Fun and Fancy Free specifically for Mickey and the Beanstalk. It's really good. It's a shame that it had an unfortunate timing for it, but and then like Disney movies around that time were not performing as well in the box office, but they would bounce back though. So next up I am going to do Alice in Wonderland. Actually, before I do that, let's do Dumbo. This movie did not hold up well. I'm going to give it a bottom C, but this movie, actually I'll give it a D. I know people are going to be like a bit upset with me about this, but this movie does not hold up well. It's actually pretty racist. Like the crows. Man, does not hold up well. Seriously. I'm sorry. And the thing is, I used to like this movie as a kid, but it doesn't really hold up well. Yeah. Now let's talk about Alice in Wonderland. This movie was actually like a pretty good movie. I'm gonna put it over here. I think it's better than Snow White. I'm not sure how many people will agree, but I really like this more than Snow White. Alice in Wonderland, I used to watch it all the time. as a kid. I had a lot of VHS tapes with Disney movies, and this was what I would watch over and over, more than Snow White. Like, I never owned Snow White. I've only watched that in theaters and on the Disney Channel. Yeah, the Moon Theme from DuckTales is playing. Alice in Wonderland's so good. I really liked it a lot. And then they had like 2 live-action sequels, which I've seen one of them and I actually liked it, but I've never seen the last one through the looking glass. I heard it was kind of meh. Next up is Lady and the Tramp. See, good movie, but not great. I need to rewatch it again though. Maybe I might have a different opinion, but I didn't really like it as much as some of the other movies back when I watched it. And I watched it in school because back when like some schools they would used to play some movies. We would watch that. I've seen Lady and the Tramp. Oh no. Okay, so next up we got oh, I'm gonna put the Ichabod and Mr. Toad thing on haven't watched. I actually have not watched that. Next up is Bambi. Bambi is overrated. Let's be honest. I'm gonna put this on D. Bambi is overrated. My God, like, I know the main thing everyone always talks about with that movie is the scene where Bambi's mother gets killed by a hunter that you do not see in the movie at all. And for the longest time, when I was a little kid, I used to think Bambi was a girl. Then I found out Bambi was actually a boy. But it's still... the movie's not bad. Let's be real. It's just... it just didn't really do it for me, even as a kid. I barely remember the ending of the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Okay, next up is Cinderella. Cinderella gets a B. Actually, no, Cinderella gets an A. Oh man. This movie is fantastic. I really enjoyed the way they did Cinderella here. Obviously you get the story of like Cinderella, like you have her stepsisters because her father died, stepsisters and her stepmother controlling her to do all the chores at home, and the stepsisters don't have to do anything, and neither does the stepmother. And then she gets to go to the ball. Well, they refuse to let her go to the ball, but she ends up going anyway. And then she met the prince. The rest is history. Alright, so Cinderella's great. Next up is Peter Pan. B. You could fly, you could fly, you could fly. Going to Neverland. Captain Hook. I enjoyed Peter Pan. It was a lot of fun. It was a childhood favorite of mine. In more ways than one, of course. Peter Pan was good. Came out in the 50s. For an animated movie that came out in the 1950s, it looked really good. Put so much effort into it. Really good stuff right there. Next up is going to be Sleeping Beauty. Oh, Fantasia 2000 I've never seen. I'm going to put it right here. Alright, Sleeping Beauty. A. Sleeping Beauty is fantastic. That movie was really good, in my personal opinion, for so many things. Like the prince was trying to wake up Sleeping Beauty, but Maleficent really seals the deal here. She really does. Maleficent really does. What a great movie. Wonderful. Next up is Robin Hood, and that gets a B. I really like this rendition of Robin Hood. They really did a good job here. I haven't seen the movie in years, but it was good. Robin Hood was a lot of fun. I really got to watch it again at some point. Speaking of movies I need to watch again, that's been years since I've seen, The Sword and the Stone. That movie gets a B. I enjoyed The Sword and the Stone. So good. Like I was a little kid watching that one. It's been a long time, but The Sword and the Stone was like the story of a little boy named Arthur who becomes the king by pulling the stone. But they really went in on it. It was fantasy, but it was the fantasy that I liked. I need to watch that movie again. The last time I seen The Sword and the Stone was when I was a little kid. I really gotta watch that movie again with my fresh adult eyes, just to see my own perspective on it, to see how it holds up now compared to how it did when I was a kid. Oh boy, the Mega Man X6 soundtrack? No, I don't want that. Mega Man X6 is not that good of a game. Let me pick a different one. Let's see. Quackshot starring Donald Duck. Let me actually do that. Oops. I'll close that because no, that's not the soundtrack. Where is the soundtrack? Right here. Okay, good. Starring Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. No, but I really did enjoy The Sword and the Stone when I was a little kid. Okay, next up is The 101 Dalmatians. It's a B. 101 Dalmatians, I really enjoyed that one. They really, it was like just so many different Dalmatians, all born at the same time. And then, like, the villain Cruella de Vil is really something else right there. Taking all those Dalmatians away. There were so many parodies of it. Then there was a remake, and then there was a TV show. I've seen the TV show, and it was okay, but the movie was really good. It's been a long time since I've seen the show or the movie. I've never seen the live action one all the way through. That came out in '96. I remember they made a big deal of it. It had a sequel though. Okay, next up is The Fox and the Hound. C. Honestly, The Fox and the Hound is a decent movie, but I feel like it should have stopped at a certain point. Like when they grew up, I feel like it was too sad. I just couldn't really deal with that one. Fox and the Hound was okay. It could have been better, but it's okay as a movie. Next up is The Rescuers. Where do I actually put this? The Rescuers. It is going to get a B. It's a decent movie. It's a solid movie. Yeah, it's all about, revolves around like mice who rescue children from some unfortunate circumstances. In this case, like kidnapping. I thought that to me that The Rescuers was meaningful in the sense where you had like these mice that just want to help kids out. Somehow managed to work. It came out in the 1970s during a dark point for Disney because it was years after Disney, like Walt Disney passed away. And then there was a lot of movies just weren't hitting the mark like a lot of others did. But it's still an enjoyable movie. I still liked it. Next up, we got we got the Aristocats. It's gonna be in the high C tier. Good movie, but it wasn't really like too special for me. Should get a free trial with Disney Plus? Yes. Binge on as many movies as you can. The Great Mouse Detective gets a B. This one was fun. I've actually watched this on Disney Plus during Thanksgiving 2019. And it was fun. It was a fun movie. The Great Mouse Detective is really good. Next up, let's see. Next up is going to be The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book gets an A. This movie's fun. The bare necessities. You have a boy who was abandoned by his parents, and he grew up in the jungle, raised by a bunch of animals. And he lives his life in the jungle. Really fun movie. They brought a lot of those characters back in a show called Tailspin, like Baloo, and you have Louie, you have Shere Khan, and many others. Really good stuff. Next up is going to be Oliver and Company, and this movie gets a C. Wasn't really all that great, honestly, but it was okay. All right, this is the point where things shift, because we're going to be going into the Disney Renaissance era, where they were making these amazing classic movies, like they were back in true form. Starting with The Little Mermaid, which is an A. Little Mermaid was really good. I remember watching that one a lot. That was a really good movie. Like, this was the one they actually put a lot of effort into it, because that was the moment where people felt Disney was back after being in a huge slump for so many years. This was the point where it kicked off the Disney Renaissance that lasted from 1989, 1999. They were doing like consistently well during this time. I'm not sure either, but that's just the name of the story. Next up is The Rescuers Down Under, the sequel to The Rescuers, and that gets an A as well. That movie is one of the best movies in the 90s. And it's way better than the original. Like, they brought like some of the main characters back, but they went to Australia this time. And they had a new character that was like they had a seagull character that was played by a comedian, John Candy, who unfortunately passed away later on, a couple years afterwards. And they went to Australia. The movie was really good. To me, I felt they had a much better plot, better animation, better writing. Everything was great. The music, they did a great job with this. The Rescuers Down Under is better than the original Rescuers. I highly recommend watching that one. I would say watch both. Watch The Rescuers first, but Down Under is even better. Next up, we got Beauty and the Beast. I've only ever seen this movie once, when it came out in 1991. So, having said that, gets a B. Gets an A. I'll put it over here. I think I like Rescuers Down Under more and Little Mermaid more. but it gets an A. Alright, Aladdin gets an S. Aladdin is definitely like super top tier for me. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is based on real life, but Aladdin is top tier. And so is The Lion King. The Lion King is top tier as well. Yes, I know that supposedly Disney copied another movie called Kimba the White Lion, but I still think that The Lion King is good enough. Pocahontas is next. Honestly, not a fan of this one. This one is... I actually don't like Pocahontas. This gets a D. I don't like this movie. I just found it to be boring. Probably the low point from the Renaissance era. I still have to watch Hunchback, so I have to watch that at some point. Hercules is so good. I'll put it an A. Hercules is amazing. A lot of fun. It's not as good as Aladdin and Lion King, but it's definitely a really good movie. Mulan is on S tier. Mulan is like fantastic. Oh man, Mulan is like the original animated Mulan, incredible. I remember watching that one in theaters. Incredible movie. A lot of great moments. It had a lot of stuff. A lot of action, drama, comedic relief with the character Mushu, and so much more. Everything you would want in a movie like that, nailed it. I'll Make a Man Out of You, a very memorable song. Next up, we got Tarzan. The last movie is part of the Renaissance. C. Tarzan was good, but it wasn't that good. But the music from Phil Collins was really good. But it was alright. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but I'm not like super like into the movie like I am with other movies, but it was fine for what it is. Alright. And then it's like the 2000s, they kind of like went all over the place, but in the last decade, they had some pretty good stuff. Tangled was pretty good. I'm gonna put Tangled in B. Wreck-It Ralph is going to be going on A rank. It's amazing, it's great, but I feel like Wreck-It Ralph doesn't hit the mark that these 4 movies does. In fact, none of these movies do. So Zootopia comes close. I'll put Big Hero 6 at C. Like C plus right here. Like Big Hero 6 is good, but it has a lot of flaws with pacing. But overall, it was still a pretty good movie. Zootopia is like... Zootopia deserves to be over here. It doesn't hit the mark like these movies do, but it comes really, really close. Super close. It gets really deep. Deep in the feels. Really good movie. Like Zootopia is really good. I do only have one more movie on here, and that's Moana, which also gets an A. I'll put it over here. Toy Story feels out of place because it's a Pixar movie, but everything else, really good stuff right here. Let me just save and download. All right. Which tiers have I done? I'll tell you in just a moment. Let me just pause this. Okay, so what I've done so far, I started with the Mega Man Robot Masters. Then I went to do Marvel vs. 2. I did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. What I did was the entire cast of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in terms of the characters, how I like them. And then I did Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in terms of competitive. Then after that, I did I did Nicktoons. And now I just did the Disney movies. Oh, I also did the classic 2D Sonic one, Sonic music. So would I have time for one more? Actually, I could squeeze in a quick one for one more. Let me just find a different soundtrack. Let me actually figure something out. It's gonna be Rugrats characters. This is gonna be a short list. So let's see. All right, let's do this. All right. Well, actually, not this one. I know what I'm gonna do. Here we go. Alright, so yeah, Chucky, Chuckie. Alright, we're gonna do Rugrats characters. This will be the last one I'll do. This will be a quick one. Alright, so okay, let's do this. Alright, so Tommy Pickles is going to be an A. He's a really good character. I'll speed through this list. I'm not going to go too detailed for each character, but I'll just do what I can. Chucky is going to be a B tier. Doesn't think everything is a good idea, but he's good for what he is. Bill and Will also go to B. They're good characters. They're pretty messy. Angelica is going to go into A tier. She's a bully, but she does get her comeuppance. Susie Carmichael is an A. Actually, she's an S. She's awesome. There's this character right here named Timothy McNulty. I think that's his name. He's D. He only appeared in a couple episodes. I don't know why he's on here. He's not really a major character. Like, I forgot what's this dog's name. I'm gonna put it in C. And same thing with Fluffy. This was the dog from Lulu Pickles, who I'm gonna put on C. She came in late. She wasn't really that great as a character, in my opinion. Dill Pickles is a B. Actually, a C. Doesn't really have much of a personality here. Kimmy gets a B. Her mom will get a C. Kira, yeah. Chaz Finster gets an S. He's one of my favorites. Stu Pickles gets an A. Drew Pickles gets a B. D Pickles gets a B. Lipshit says, oh, Lou Pickles gets an S. Back in my day, we never had tier lists. We had to discuss what we like and we didn't like, and we had to walk 15 miles just to talk about what we like. Alright. Yeah, Boris, the other grandfather for Tommy. I will put him in A. He's actually a pretty good character. The wife, not so much. I'm gonna put her here. Charlotte goes in A. Jonathan. Betty goes to B. Howard goes to B. Spike goes to S. No Fs, to be honest. Like, I'm shocked, no F. They're missing Reptar. Reptar would have gone to S. Alright, so that's a quick one. I'll save this one. Alright. I think that's gonna be it. Remember that one episode where Chucky was driving around Angelica's house to try to retrieve a box of chocolates or something? Yeah. I do remember that. That was very Miss Angelica. That was a good episode. Okay. But yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna do it for the tier list stream. I had a blast doing this one. I actually have more tier lists than I thought because some of them actually lasted longer. There's gonna be a part 2 eventually. So I'll figure out when I'll do a part 2, and the ones I didn't do tonight, I'll do it when I do part 2. But yeah, it's a good stream. I had a blast with that. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that everybody donated the channel points specifically for that one. We'll do part 2 eventually when the time comes, but we'll figure everything out. No, you don't have to donate channel points for part 2. Like, I'll schedule that when it happens. I'll probably do it like maybe next month. I'll definitely do it next month. Right now, I'm going to see who is online that I can actually raid. So I do appreciate everybody coming through. First off, I want to thank System Malfunction for the host, Day Lucas Omega for the follow, and Enigma R Prince for the 19-month resub with a 10-month streak. I do appreciate all that. Let's see who's online that I could actually raid right now. I'm gonna figure that out. Let's see. I've already raided Michael McCall the other day. Let me see if this one person I'm thinking of is still online. He actually is, but let me see who else is on first. Because there's a lot of people on. I want to make sure that I know, like, if whoever I'm thinking of might be online. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody coming through. It's been a great stream. As far as who's online is concerned, Maple's online, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be on for. He probably might not be on for that much longer. Is Shiny streaming? Yeah, he is. He's playing some Hades. Let's see. So I'm debating between a few people right now. So I'm debating between the Shiny one, Tarvol's Quest. Let's see. So I'm debating between both of them. Let's see. Who should I go with? Yeah, I just got to think about that. Oh, you watch? He's going off. All right. So the way I'll do it. All right. So Maple's going off. Okay. Then I'm gonna do it in a completely unique way because I really don't know who to choose between Tarvol's Quest and the Shiny one, because there are two people I'm thinking of. Because I know that Ash said hi most likely would have won offline by now, because I know she was streaming earlier. I would have rated her, but I think she might be offline. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's offline. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a new way to do like a raid, because you know how like I would have a wheel where I would have like a raid. Let's go to do something a little different this time. Let me just add people on here real quick. Let's see. Let me just do that. Manually. All right, so let me just do that real quick. Whoever. All right, so there we go. There we go. I got. All right. Let me just show off the. Let me show this up. It looks like it's gonna be a raffle. Like, because I'm gonna use this for raffles. This is a program called Latch Tools. You can use this to do raffles. You could do this to get other things going, like getting raid targets and all that stuff. I'm going to use this as a way to, because I don't know which one I want to choose, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to start the animation, and then whichever one is the one that it lands on is the one we're going to go to. I could do this for giveaways, so that way when I do a giveaway, this will be the new way to determine who gets to win. We'll be doing that for future giveaways at some point. And I'll also do this like whenever I'm doing multi-streams for raid wheels and all that. So instead of a raid wheel, we have this. So let's get started. Alright, we're going to be raiding Torval's quest. Okay. So we're going to be raiding Torval's quest. Let me see what he's playing right now. He's playing Metroid Prime 2 Echoes multiplayer. Nice. Okay, sounds good. I'll definitely do that. So we'll get the raid call going, and then we'll get the actual raid going afterwards. So we're going to go raid Torval's quest. Done. Okay. Alright, so take care, everybody. Tomorrow, I'll see you guys then. Have a good night. Fight for everlasting peace.